greatest fans and the greatest weather in baseball. Southern California and the Big A for the Angels and the Tigers. The Halos are 36-22 at home this year. On that road trip, it was a carryover from the last homestand. The offense carried the team. And here's a look at the Tigers starting lineup. Granderson will lead it off, then Polanco, Ordonez, and Miguel Cabrera, who leads the Tigers this year with a .338 batting average, 25 home runs, and 75 driven in. Aubrey Huff, Carlos Guillen, Brandon Inge, Gerald Laird, and Ramon Santiago. Jared Weaver will get to start today, and today would have been his friend's Nick Aidenhart's 23rd birthday. Jared Weaver said it was very special to start on this day. Nick, of course, was tragically killed in an April auto accident. He was out there earlier today honoring his friend who would have lived with him to start the season, but of course killed in an automobile accident in early April. So Weaver, every time he walks out to that mound, carves the initials NA into the mound, and of course his jersey is hung in that Angels dugout before every single contest, home and away.
Nope. Aidenhart will never ever be forgotten by his teammates, but Weaver, he's got his focus, and when he's focused, he's tough. 4 complete games this year. It's amazing he didn't throw hardly any at all before that, but Weaver's got a good fastball, locates it on both sides of the plate. Slider's been good, curve and changeup are exceptional. He's not overpowering, but his focus is, and his mental command, his mental toughness is shown as he's one of the Angels' #1 starters. Defensively behind him, with Torrey Hunter now back, he's solidifying the outfield, making that strong. He gets to most balls out there. He's been tough, but I'll tell you what, the infield has been exceptional. They only aired twice on the whole 10-day road trip. Ibar made 2 throwing errors, but both these two up the middle, Mighty Meister Asturis and Eric Ibar, have really put a nice double play combination together. They are very smooth with their defense, and they're very fundamentally sound and make every routine play, and some flashy ones too.
Weaver to face Curtis Granderson to start things, and that is ball 1 down low. And this is Jared Weaver right before the ball game, carving the initials of his friend Nick Aidenhart, who again would have been 23 today. And Jared told us that this game means a lot to him, and he went out to honor his number out in right center field. Granderson ropes one down the right field side and into the seats with foul, so the count now is even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. I guess it's a 2-1 count now. It'll be Granderson, Polanco, and Ordonez here in the first inning. Curveball hit in the air. Coming on is Torrey Hunter. He will make the catch, and that is the first out of the game.
Okay, now Weaver, right-handers, he's been really tough on them. Just a 188 average. They have scrapped 7 home runs they've scratched off of him. Lefties are hitting 281 with 14. So the left-handers have been getting to Weaver a little bit as far as the long ball goes. That's 21 home runs given up from both sides of the plate. But he's a fly ball pitcher, doesn't get rattled easily. He's been really good at checking his emotions.
He's tied for 3rd in the American League with wins. He's also 8th in strikeouts with 143, 8th batting average against at 239. Really tough against right-handers this year. Righties like Polanco only hitting 188 against the Angels right-hander.
Yep, he's very deceptive. That's why the average is tough. And Verlander the same way. Both these guys are tough on righties. But Weaver has a very good rhythm. Like the way he gets the ball, throws it, and so does Socia. Polanco, he's been one of their better hitters over the last 32 games. He's hitting .304 during that time. And he's not easy to strike out. 2nd hardest in the AL to fan. Just 1 every 14.8 times up.
Curveball line to left field. Base hit for the Detroit Tigers' second baseman. Rex, interestingly about that road trip, Jared Weaver had the worst start of his career, giving up 8 runs in 3 1/3 innings in a 16-6 loss in Baltimore. He follows that up with one of the best starts, a 3-hit complete game shutout in Cleveland. Go figure.
Well, you know what? That's his only little goose egg he's laid the whole season. Now we're going to give him a mulligan on that. We might even give him 1 or 2 more before it's over. But he's, for the most part, has been very tough on his opponents.
Magglio Ordonez has had a weird season, only hitting .274, and this guy's a career .312 hitter. Fastball in there for a strike. He's now 35 years old, out of Venezuela, a veteran who would like to come back to Detroit next year.
But they're not real sure about next year, but they're trying to stay focused on this year. Maglio's had a hard time catching up to good fastballs this year. Going to pitch him inside, get him tied up a little bit. He's got a good inside out swing. Anybody who hits over 300 in their career uses the line to line. Polanco, not much of a stolen base guy at first base, a situational base stealer. He's got 4 bags this year.
He does not go, and the pitch is roped to left field, a base hit. Detroit coming off a loss in Oakland yesterday, 9-4, but they have 2 on with only 1 out in the first inning. And it was the first inning in Baltimore that really cost Jered Weaver. He absolutely had his worst first inning in his entire career. Again, the Orioles beat the Angels by a score of 16-6, and they sent 11 men to the plate against Jered Weaver, scored 6 runs on 6 hits.
Yeah, so now he wants to try to get through it if at all possible this first inning. That's a big key for him, and for any pitcher for that matter. But the Tigers are a .256 hitting team with runners in scoring position. Miguel Cabrera has been their best hitter all year. He's hitting 300 on the nose with runners out there. We would like to try to get him to hit one down on the ground. Weaver's a fly ball pitcher. Cabrera's grounded into 15 double plays this year. That's what Weaver wants.
Blows the fastball right by him at 91 miles an hour. But this is one of the great young hitters in the game. Miguel Cabrera just turned 26. He's batting .338. This is already his 7th year in the major leagues. He's a star with the Marlins, helping them to a world championship. Now trying to get Detroit there. Curveball hit in the air right side. Bobby Abreu going back, and that ball's off the wall. Coming around to score is Polanco. Moving to third is Ordonez. 1-0 Detroit.
A beautiful inside out swing. Breaking ball. He mashed it. Abreu, he put his glove up to try to deke the runners that he was going to make the play, but that ball was raked pretty well, and Weaver early having some problems staying out of the middle. Miguel Cabrera's hit his 27th double and just knocked in his 76th ribby.
So Weaver got the first out, but he was hit hard to center field and Torrey Hunter, and the next 3 batters with line hits. Here's Aubrey Huff. He was picked up from the Baltimore Orioles during the series with the Angels. He had played 3 games against the Angels on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then he was traded on Sunday afternoon and went to Detroit for a minor league pitcher. Huff has started poorly with Detroit, just 2 hits and 15 at bats. That has dropped his batting average to .249. He was the Orioles MVP last year, hitting .306. Jim Leyland likes the depth that Aubrey Huff gives his offense.
That's right. He can DH, play a little bit of first base. So Weaver now has a hitter down in the count, which is good. He's got to get ahead. First couple of strikes are important, and getting out of this inning, it looks like it's going to be a lot tougher than when he got that first out by Granderson.
He'd love to get a strikeout here. Mike Butcher saw some good, some bad starts. A couple of great starts by John Lackey and Jered Weaver on the road trip, but there were some also bad ones, particularly by 4 and 5 starters Sean O'Sullivan and Trevor Bell. Fouled back, granted because of injuries. Those young men made it to the big leagues probably before they're ready. Both Bell and O'Sullivan were in Single A last year.
So Mike Scioscia, he drew Mike Napoli's name to catch Weaver. Now, Napoli's only caught 39 innings for Weaver this year. Jeff Mathis has 123 innings caught. So I think Scioscia's going with the Napoli offense.
Grounder back to Weaver. They've got him caught in between home and third base, and Ordonez will be tagged out. Advancing to third on the play is Miguel Cabrera. Still a big second out here in the first inning.
Yeah, that's a big play there. Weaver saw the out right in front of him. Go ahead. Now, Aubrey Huff, he's not real happy about this. He wanted to pick up a ribby there with a ground ball, but still Maglio, he came off and he was going to be dead. Weaver wanted to try to finish off the inning against a pretty good hitter, Carlos Guillen.
Guillen, another lefty, and lefties at causing Weaver some problems this year. Carlos, though, only hitting .237. This is a career .290 hitter, but you look up and down their lineup, big names, but not much production. Granderson .256, Polanco .271, Ordonez .274, Huff .249, Guillen .237, Inge .239, Laird .223.
But they're in first place.
Yep.
Mike Scioscia, he didn't even care about their average and what they're doing, if they're raking, if they're not. He only can control his team, and that's all he keeps his focus on.
They can pitch. And the Angels will see their best tonight in Justin Verlander. An overpowering pitcher with a tremendous fastball. That's why it's important that Jared Weaver keep this inning to a minimum. Verlander has been marvelous this year with 13 wins and leading the American League in strikeouts with 204.
Guillen's just hitting .211 with runners out there.
Another beautiful day in Southern California after coming out of that humidity in the Midwest. It's great to come back to the coast, and it's a cool evening. We expect a crowd of nearly 40,000 tonight for Game 1 between the Angels and the Tigers. The Western leaders against the Central leaders. Angels leading the West by 5.5 over Texas. The Rangers have tonight off. They'll begin a series at Yankee Stadium tomorrow. And that will be Kevin Millwood against Jabba Chamberlain tomorrow. The 1-1. Guillen takes again inside. 2-1.
Weaver's trying to stay in tight with him as he's got a runner out there at third base. And that's Miguel Cabrera, and first base is Aubrey Huff. Huff's not a base stealer.
Guillen gets a grounder to short. Ibar has it. His throw to first is just in time. Fine play by Eric Ibar to deny Detroit their second run of the first.
Defense is a strength of the Angels, and Weaver loves it.
Has eaten the most. He's going to finish that. Well, here's tonight's AM/PM Angels batting order. It'll be Figgins to lead things up. Look at the number of 300 hitters in the Angels lineup. 8 tonight. Mike Napoli at 294 and Eric Ibar this year. 310. He leads the Angels after a career best 277 last year, but much more discipline in 2009. On the mound, a very strong pitcher, and Justin Verlander goes 6'5", 200 from Haydensville, Virginia. Look at those numbers.
Nope, he's a power pitcher. Throws high fastballs all day long, and don't be surprised to see some 100 miles an hour in there. He's throwing the ball like he did 2 years ago. He was dangerous. He was tough, lights out, 99 to 100, topping out. But last year, he tried to conserve early in games to try to keep him, in the game longer, and it didn't work for him. He was 11-17. His velocity was down last year. Most losses in the AL at 17 losses. But this year, he's going full throttle from the very beginning. He's tough. He's got 3 quality pitches. A good hammer to go along with that fastball. There it is there.
On 0-2, it's a curveball that's lined to left field. So Figgins starts this homestand well with a base hit to left.
Okay, and he also has a changeup to go with the curve. So Figgins, he hit that perfectly. Okay, defending behind Verlander. This is a defense that struggled this year. They're 11th in defense. They've made a lot of errors, but they're pretty solid up the middle. Santiago's a premium shortstop. He's good. Polanco's been solid, and he might just be in line for his second Gold Glove. He only has 2 errors all year long. He won back in 07. He might win him another one. Very solid, nice fielding percentage. Good player, all the way on both sides of the ball.
Here is Bobby Abreu. Bobby's always had good numbers against these Detroit Tigers. Abreu certainly with the Yankees and occasionally an interleague play when he was with the Phils, which beat the Tigers. And he's a career .371 hitter against Detroit. Overall this year against everybody in the bigs, hitting .307. And he's second in the team in RBIs with 81. And there's Figgins, who leads the team in stolen bases with 37.
Yeah, Abreu's a .400 hitter in his career against Verlander with 1 home run. Okay, but Verlander, he's pretty good, very good athlete. He's allowed 6 stolen bases, but 8 have been caught.
A chopper foul.
Largely because of his catcher tonight, Gerald Laird. Gerald Laird has thrown out 41% of base stealers this year. That's #1 for catchers in the AL. He's been really solid, so Leland likes the matchup. He also has 2 pickoffs, this Verlander, so he's got pretty quick feet, and he's a good athlete.
Good action situation with Bobby Abreu and Sean Figgins. Sean does not go, and the pitch is swung on and missed, and down goes Bobby. That is out #1 for Justin Verlander.
Yeah, Bobby, he didn't mean to swing at that, because any Angel that tries to hit a pitch that's elevated like that with that velocity, no chance. He's going to throw a lot of high fastballs, but his strengths, he works at a good pace. Verlander, he's got the nice fastball curveball combo, the ability to dominate a game, and he's very aggressive. Sometimes, though, you see the quick feet there, sometimes he makes too many mistakes up in the zone in the middle of the plate.
He's working with a very good catch and throw guy in Gerald Laird, who grew up in Southern California, huge Angels fan.
Verlander, he'll trust Laird with the base stealers for the most part.
Torrey Hunter takes it upstairs. Hunter back from the disabled list on this road trip. Missed 32 games because of a right adductor strain. And the Angels played so well without Hunter and without Guerrero. Guerrero came back early, but the team went 17-3 without those 2 stars. And again, he's going above the belt with the impressive heat. That last fastball hit 96 miles an hour.
Hey, Verlander, like Weaver, tough on righties. They're just hitting .216, 4 home runs overall. Lefties, .247 with 11 homers. So lefties got a little better look at that curveball, as we saw Sean Figgins hit that masterfully to left field. That's just how you hit a breaking ball to the opposite field.
That struck out of play. And the last time Verlander pitched at the Big A was actually the start of something good, because Verlander was miserable that game, gave up 7 runs in 5 innings. But as you were talking about, Rex, he tried to do the less is more, go with the 2-seam fastball. Their next road trip was to Kansas City. And Verlander said he was in the outfield with the star pitcher for KC, Zach Greinke. And Greinke was saying, yeah, I've abandoned the two-seam fastball. I'm just going with the four-seam, and saying, hey, that's my best pitch. Let's stay with it. Verlander said, you know what? I'm going back there, too. Next start, he was dominant, wound up being May's pitcher of the month, mainly with the four-seamer and the off-speed and breaking ball combination you were talking about.
Because that's, just that fastball alone has tremendous upside. It's so hard, and it's a straight one, but it's tough to square up.
A nice pick by Cabrera just to knock the ball down because that was in the dirt.
Well, with the Angels and their on-base percentage as a team, second in the AL, there's always somebody on base. Biggie hasn't attempted a steal yet, but you see Cabrera with the soft hands there is able to at least knock that ball down. Glad to be back in Southern California where we have that great X-Mode camera where it's super slow motion, and we see a lot.
We've got a great crew here. Jeff Kibler is our producer. Matt Lipp is our director. Here's the pitch, a swing and a miss, and Torrey Hunter will strike out. So back-to-back Ks by Verlander against Abreu and Hunter, and he now has 206 this year, and that leads the American League. The Major League leader is Tim Lincecum of San Francisco at 214.
Little breaking ball straight down. It's going to fool you after throwing a lot of fastballs. Now, Big Vladdy, he's been really good against Verlander. 462 hitter in 13 at-bats. He's got 6 hits, but he loves the fastball. But won't be any contest if it's up, up around the letters. He can't touch that.
Well, how about that one about belt high?
So, it's tough, man. If you want a fastball, you're facing the right guy. He's not throwing his changeup as much this season, mainly using that to lefties. First and second time through the order. He'll throw to all bases too. Talked about what a good athlete he is. He's got quick feet. Real tough customer. On the road, he's 6-5 with a 4 ERA. At home, he's 7-2 with a 2 ERA.
Runner goes, pitch is swung on, fouled off into the club level. And now Guerrero down 0-2.
He likes pitching at home at Comerica Park where it's a big yard. He just throws that high fastball up there. Says hit it out if you can.
Not only his numbers, but the team's. I mean, he's 7-2 at home, and his ERA is more than 2 runs lower at Comerica. At home, this team is 40-20 this year. They're 25-38 on the road. Their 27% differential is the biggest gap in the major leagues. Jim Leyland can't figure it out because they're playing the same kind of baseball. They're taking their great pitching, whether it's Verlander, Edwin Jackson, or Jared Washburn on the road.
Well, how the game revolves around statistics. There's a stat for every time Jim Leyland goes to his cap even. But hey, they can't.
What's that record?
Well, you can't figure some things out. Mike Leland, a world champion manager, says, you know what? I can't figure it out. I don't know why we don't win on the road.
He is a lifer. 45 years in pro ball. Vladdy fouls it off of Gerald Laird.
But there's the curveball. Now, if he bounces the curve, don't give up on Vladdy's swing. We might just see him hit one out on a curveball.
He swung at 2 balls on this road trip that bounced before they got to home plate. One he had a base hit on, the other one he fouled off.
Watch him after that curveball come right up again with another heater upstairs.
On his hands, and a slow roll to short. Picking it off with Santiago. Guerrero is out, so are the Angels. We head to the second, a 1-0 Detroit lead. 1-0 lead on 3 straight hits off Jared Weaver in the first inning. Beautiful sunset. It's like Malibu. And it's great to be back in Southern California. Greatest ballpark in the Bigs. Not a bad seat in the house. Crowd of over 40,000 tonight for game 1 of this 3-game series. And it will be 3 good ones. Verlander, Weaver tonight. Lackey, Washburn tomorrow. And then Joe Saunders will make his first start since coming off the DL against Edwin Jackson. Detroit's 3 best. And 3 of the Angels' 4 best. Here's Brandon Inge. Only hitting .164 since the All-Star break, and that has sent his batting average down to .239. Fastball at the knees, 1-1. Weaver guided up a bit in the first inning, and Tigers hit him pretty well. He was able to minimize the damage, giving up just 1 run.
Inge, one heck of an athlete. Position-wise, he could start and play any position on the field. Maybe not pitch, but he certainly is a good catcher and can play center field. I mean, you just don't see a guy with those kind of skills.
Rex, he was a second-team All-American as a pitcher/shortstop at Virginia Commonwealth, so he could pitch if they needed him to. Here's Figgins, throws out Brandon, 1 out.
Okay, that's important for Weaver. Try to get as many quick outs as you possibly can, although he didn't expend nearly as many as he did in that game in Baltimore. But Weaver, he's got the ability to change the speeds and locate, and that's the key to pitching successful baseball in the big leagues.
Weaver had like 40 pitches in the first inning in Baltimore, 22 in the first inning tonight. 14 of those were strikes. Now facing Gerald Laird. Gerald takes a rip at a 90-mile-an-hour fastball. He's got some surprising power. Only 4 home runs this year, picked up in the offseason from the Texas Rangers, where he started for many years in Arlington. He hails from Westminster and went to La Quinta High School. Pops it up right side. Morales over, reaches in, can't make the play, and Laird still has life.
Just off the end of his glove. Couldn't quite get enough leverage on that little fence in front of the dugout there to get it. Watch how it just tips off the end of his glove. Not much you can do. That's Kevin Rand, a longtime trainer, standing right there watching it with a front row seat.
Did his best to grab it. Weaver has Laird down to the count, 0-2.
Laird 0 for 12 lifetime off Weaver.
Went with the fastball on an 0-2. It's lined to right field for a base hit.
Leland has Laird in there, though, for that great catch and throw ability. That's a good knock, first one he's gotten. Let's take a look at the blimp shot on that base hit. Ball is shot out there, and pretty good angle we had from up there.
And according to Mike Scioscia's defensive chart, if Morales is playing a little taller, Rex, he makes that play.
And he makes the catch leaning over in the dugout if he's a little taller.
If he's Shaq and a half.
Well, you know, it's a game of inches. I mean, that's a cliche in baseball, but still it's the truth.
Ramon Santiago, 2 for 7 in that Oakland series. He's batting .257 this year. Adam Everett was supposed to be their everyday shortstop, but Santiago has played a little better. Detroit really wanted to clean up their defense. They're having some players get older. Carlos Guillen was breaking down with the knee problems he suffered in the past. And Guillen played first, third, short for Jimmy Leland. Now he's in the outfield. Santiago getting a lot of at-bats and playing defense. Beautiful fashion for the Tigers as they have a 2.5 game lead over the White Sox for the Central League. Curveball in there.
Okay, Laird's not a stolen base threat, but Weaver has given up 13 stolen bases this year. 5 have been caught, 3 pickoffs. He's got quick feet. Nice little breaking ball. 3 pickoffs for Weave. That's including 1 on his last start. Quick feet and throws a dart to first base. So if runners get too big of a lead and he puts that ball right where Morales likes it, he'll get another pickoff.
Line drive to Figgins. Throw to first, not in time, as Laird read it nicely and got back to the bag in plenty of time, but that's the second out.
You're not going to find a third baseman with quicker reaction or quicker feet in, I'm going to say, the game. Sean Figgins is some kind of athlete, but he's so quick with his feet. We all know how he runs, but his range, his athleticism at third base, the way he throws the ball, man, there's a lot of teams that would love him to be their third baseman. Are you kidding? Now, it may not be the prototypical type power third baseman, but you ask Mike Scioscia what he thinks about Figgins' defense, and he raves. He says, what he don't hit in homers, we make up by another position player, and let Figgy do his thing.
The Angels' left side defensively is as good as anybody's in the American League. I mean, that's including Evan Longoria and Jason Bartlett, a dynamic duo in Tampa Bay. But Ibar robbed the Tigers of a run on a tremendous come in, make the play, get into first base just before the runner, or it's 2-0 Detroit. 2 outs, a man on. Granderson, the batter, flied out center field, first time up. Curveball in there, throw to second base, not in time. That's steal number 3 for Laird.
Napoli had a little shoulder tune-up in the offseason. Hasn't been really throwing the ball like he can. He's only thrown out 14.5% of runners this year.
Did get a good jump, though, on Weaver.
And that's what it is. They steal bases off of Weaver. Doesn't have a slide step, doesn't really care to develop one. Why would you fix it if it ain't broke? Base stealers aren't the ones who beat Weaver whenever it happens. It's the hitter. Granderson hit his 4th leadoff home run of the year yesterday. Okay, but he's a guy that'll strike out a lot too. 107 punch outs. That's 10th in the AL in strikeouts. A lot for a leadoff hitter.
That was the 21st career leadoff home run for Curtis Granderson. He needs 2 more to tie Lou Whitaker for the all-time mark in Tigers history. Lou, part of that '84 World Championship team for Sparky Anderson. What a great Keystone combination that was. Lou Whitaker and Alan Trammell up the middle. In now. 3-2. On 3-1, he dropped that breaking ball in there on the inside corner to Curtis. Granderson, good power, though. Watch out for him. 24 big flies this year. Walked him. So 2 on with 2 out for Polanco. And Weaver throwing a lot of pitches again after 22 in the first inning. He's already thrown. This next will be his 18th in this inning. 40th for the ball game.
Polanco, 308 hitter with runners in scoring position because he's short to the ball. Very short swing. Gets the ball all over the yard. He sprays it. Dangerous hitter here.
Down the line foul. He is always choked up on that bat.
Yeah, and he's always been a great hitter. Okay, even in his days in the National League with the Phillies, you know, they didn't want to get rid of him, but they didn't really have a spot for him, so they let him move on. But he's always hit well, and he's a perfect number 2 hitter. He can bunt, he can hit behind runners. He's got a nice skill. Weaver has no easy chance here on this guy.
Angels have to keep it close. Contend with Justin Verlander, one of the best in baseball. Weaver and Verlander both 13-game winners. Fastball barely misses outside. 1-1.
Polanco, he started his career with the Cardinals. He got 3-4 years in the big leagues with them. Then he went to the Phillies. Had some good years, hitting near close to 300 every year. And then the last 4 have been with the Tigers.
I remember Tony La Russa and Larry Boa, who were the skippers in St. Louis and also Philadelphia. They loved and they praised his baseball instincts.
And you know, he played third base. He's got good hands. He could play anywhere. He's a second baseman now, and a darn good one. Best in the league.
That makes him so difficult to defend. And the Angels playing him slightly towards right field in the outfield, a slight pull on the infield. 2-1. They throw to first base. Back in time, Curtis Granderson.
Angels catchers, whether it's Napoli or his roommate Jeff Mathis, not afraid to throw behind runners. Morales gets in pretty good position right over the base. That's a good spot. Slap that tag down there, but Granderson got it in. I mentioned Polanco, a great hitter. Any hitter that has almost 5,000 ABs and you're a .306 career hitter, you're a great hitter.
Got the fastball by him that rode up and in on Polanco. So Weaver back even at 2-2. Needs a big pitch here to keep it 1-0 early in this game.
Well, talked about when he came up earlier how hard he is to strike out. So he may not strike him out, but he's going to try to have him hit it at somebody. Boy, it's great to have the Goodyear blimp here. Gives a great shot of Angel Stadium and the field that Barney Lopez tends so well. He's the head groundskeeper here.
Fastball low, 3-2. It seems like Weaver's having a difficult time commanding the ball low, knees and below. Then he is upstairs. And it seems like Napoli's been setting that low target.
But he's just not getting
getting it up.
Yeah, he's not getting in the zone early enough to be able to finish guys off. And it's a pretty patient team. These are all veteran hitters. Maglio, he got a haircut not long ago like Big Daddy did.
Trying to change his luck. 3-2 fastball hit towards right. Foul. We'll try it again at 3-2.
So Jim Leyland's hitters, I'm sure, want to be able to tax Weaver's pitch count to try to get in their pin. And that's what they're doing.
Because the Angels use the bullpen a lot on this road trip when you're beaten 16-6, 11-3, and then, of course, very poor starts by O'Sullivan and Bell in the Toronto series. The Angels use the bullpen for 41 1/3 innings on the road trip. Only 10 quality starts by the Angels the last month of the season. That's how much the offense has been carrying the team. And then he throws a fastball right by one of the most difficult guys to strike out in all of baseball. Tigers strand 2. Detroit has a 1-0 lead over the Angels. Aerial coverage provided by Goodyear. New Goodyear Fuel Max tires help you get there on less gas. There's a beautiful look at the Big A from the Goodyear blimp. There's the good blimp. You can watch TV.
I got a ride on that blimp several years ago. What a thrill.
Not for the pilots. You were climbing on top of that thing while it was up in, what, about 10,000 feet?
They let me in the driver's seat, and I got to fly a little bit. It made me a little nervous when she started going down a little bit. My stomach did some funny things, man. A little nervous.
Justin Verlander facing Juan Rivera, and Rivera pops it foul back and out of play.
Okay.
Ball and a strike on Juan.
Juan, he's a good hitter against that curveball. He hits breaking balls, off-speed pitches very well because he doesn't overstride. He's got a very nice balance, keeps a good foundation, good low base, doesn't get fooled all that often. Just 0 for 7 lifetime off of Verlander. Here comes the gas.
Again out of play. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Justin now with 206 strikeouts, most in the American League. 3.29 ERA. Against the Angels this year, he had the one terrible start, giving up 7 runs in 5 innings back in April. But his next was outstanding in one of the better pitching duels we've seen this year. Verlander hooked up with Irvin Santana, and they went 0-0 to the 9th. Out of play again. Angels would win it in the 9th, 2-1. Santana would outduel him. Verlander was taken out after 8 and did not allow a run. They lost one to Fernando Rodney. He's thrown 19 pitches tonight. 17 have been strikes. He's ready to swing. Verlander has it. 1 out.
All right, time for our Jack in the box. Outside the box, and how about outside of the stadium? In the yard, Juan Rivera and company on that road trip, they teed off on some unfortunate pitches. They launched. Big Daddy didn't hit 1, he hit 2 in 1 game. The ball was flying pretty well as the Angels all of a sudden have found their power stroke, and Vladdy hit another one in Toronto. It's been one of the things the Angels have been doing outside the box by Jack. He lives inside. Morales is hacking right away off Verlander.
Well, since June 12th, the home run leaders, the Angels are 3rd, and that's surprising because they've been a run and fun team for years. But only the Yankees and the Rangers have more, and Texas only 1 more than the Halos. Here's a big reason why. Kendry Morales, he can hit the fastball, probably has the best bat speed on the team. And in that game at the Big A against Verlander, Morales in the first inning hit a 3-run home run off of Verlander fastball, and then knocked in 2 more in the 5th. He had 5 RBIs off Justin. Line drive, base hit through the hole, left field. 1 on, 1 out.
Yeah, that's now down where he's good hitting. If he's down, okay, that high fastball is the tough one for guys to get on top of it. He throws it so hard. Okay, there it is. That's down belt high. Any hitter at the big league level will tell you they love hard fastballs. And Verlander averages 10.5 strikeouts every 9 innings. It's because of that high fastball, and he'll keep elevating it if you keep swinging at it.
Or if the umpire keeps calling it. And Asturias taking that one just below the letters. Asturias right at 300, coming off a road trip where he hit 280 in Baltimore, Cleveland, and Toronto. Back up the middle. Asturias with a knock. Morales stops at second base. The Angels have a man at second for the first time tonight.
I'll tell you, you're going good when you hit a ball right at the pitcher and it doesn't hit his leg or something, and it misses, goes right between the wickets. This is the case here. Right between his legs. Good stroke. And hit that ball right where it comes back from. And the Angels, we've seen them frenzy style hit. Now they'd love to put a little rally here together against Verlander.
Well, Mike Napoli has a great memory. We remember the first time he was called up at Comerica Park. His first game was against the Detroit Tigers. The first pitcher he ever faced was Justin Verlander, and in his first at bat, breaking ball, Napoli hit a home run. What a memory. So first pitch curveball misses, ball 1.
Now Verlander may not remember that, but Napoli sure does. He hadn't gotten a hit since. It's 1 for 9.
Napoli, big time power. He has 17 home runs this year. Another hook away from him. 2-0.
Napoli's saying, okay, I know he's got the fuzz. He's going to bring that fastball right now. If it's up in the zone and not his pitch, he'll take it. He's got good plate discipline, Napoli. He's always had a good eye.
Rex, because Mike's hands are so strong and Verlander's fastball so good, would you go with a two-strike approach? Because even on 2 strikes, Napoli's strong enough to hit it out, and Verlander's power fastball enough to help it launch.
Yeah, you don't have to overswing on a guy like that. That's for sure. He'll supply the power. Yeah, there's a 3-0 green light and a good hack. It's right down the middle.
Ibar on deck, another good fastball hitter. Verlander has fallen behind. Mike 3-1.
They all hit good with runners in scoring position, like their averages. Almost all of them are hitting over 300 with runners in scoring position. Now Napoli, he's the lone one that is only hitting 207 with runners out there.
Another high strike, and it's 3-2.
So Napoli, of course, has got to look for the fastball. Okay, he thought it was maybe up and away, and Hatcher, look at him. He's a little bit angry early. He didn't question that call by Tim Wilkie in his 26th year as an umpire. Is Wilkie?
Tom Verlander going back there. He does with the high heat, and the throw to third is in time, and it's a strike him out, throw him out, double play.
Wow, Scioscia taking him out of a big inning there by stealing Morales. Speedy runner in Roberts. Now a little less a runner here in Toronto, but still very impressive, the athleticism the Angels infield has. All of them are quick and speedy. Even Howie Kendrick chipped in Toronto. Lexus pursuing perfection, and why not? Just 2 errors on the road trip, a couple throwing errors by Ibar, and that was it. The Angels are 3rd in the league, just 3 errors behind the #1 team leading Toronto Blue Jays on defense.
Angels, they'll get to more balls than that Toronto defense. When you talk about Hill and Scudero and the third baseman Bautista, I don't think there would be too many coaches or scouts who would say Toronto's infield defense is better than the Angels. So some Granderson fans here. We were hoping not to see Granderson in this inning because he would be hitting 8th. Right now it's the #3 man, Magli Ordonez. In now, the outside corner. 0-2 to Ordonez.
Tim Wilkie, his strike call is straightforward. A lot of umpires look to the side and give their strike call on the side. Wilkie punches right at the pitcher. Tim Wilkie, that guy, he's been around a long time, 25 years. I remember back in A-ball in the Florida State League when he was there. He umpired there for a couple years.
That's an umpiring family.
Sure is.
Tim and Bill.
He got to the big leagues quicker than most umpires. He was one of those umpires, Fizz, that was like a can't-miss umpire. He had that kind of high ceiling. He didn't give that high fastball to Weaver there. A little bit off the mark.
A flare towards right field as Turris makes a fine running catch.
Good speed will get to balls like that, and those are fun. Those are fun plays to make. You take off, you see it, and you just catch it. Even if you got to leave your feet, but good foot speed helps a lot. Rob Maglio there. Wave says that away, guys. I'll do my best if you do yours.
It's like a wide receiver running to that flag.
Fun.
Quarterback just lay it in there over his shoulder. There's a look from the Goodyear blimp. Looks like Weaver's all by himself against Miguel Cabrera, and I know a lot of pitchers feel the same way. This guy is one of the most feared sluggers in the game. Fastball, boy, that's a pitch that has been called for Verlander, but not for Weaver. The fastball that's just above the belt. Miguel lines it sharply foul. Miguel Cabrera is from Maracay, Venezuela, same hometown as the Angels right fielder Bobby Abreu. So Abreu was one of the guys he enjoyed watching grow up. Abreu became a star with the Phillies, and then the last couple of years with the New York Yankees. Now he has been a remarkable player, arguably the team MVP for the Angels, along with Sean Figgins and Kendry Morales. Heck, you could put the whole offense out there. Hunter was the first half MVP, but when he missed those 32 games, Rex, that took away from his real challenge for the MVP, unless he has an amazing last 6 weeks.
You know, as productive as the hitters are around him, he really doesn't have to have that kind of output, but they needed it in the first half. That's when they needed it, because they weren't getting a lot of production, and Torrey was driving the team bus offensively.
Angels stayed in the race even though they were inconsistent offensively the first 2 months. And they were just 4.5 games back on June 12th, and the team caught fire, and now they're up by 5.5. And Weaver blows away Miguel Cabrera. That is strikeout number 2 for Weaver tonight.
Hey, it looks like he's settling down.
Angel fans, set your drink down in style tomorrow night. All fans in attendance will receive an Angels free drink coaster set courtesy of Cacique. Set comes with 4 coasters featuring Juan Rivera, Torrey Hunter, Vlad Guerrero, and Bobby Abreu. And tickets for this game are still available in the view level for just $5, and the right field pavilion as low as $10 when using the password SUMMER at angelsbaseball.com or the Angels Stadium ticket window. Well, we've got this game heavily videotaped, so Jeff Kibbe, if you miss a shot, this guy's got it for you. Here's Aubrey Huff. Rex, you were traded many times. What's it like for a guy like Aubrey Huff going late in the season to a new ball club?
I was traded a couple times because no one really wanted me that badly. They had to throw in a lot of extra. but Aubrey's pressing a little, no question.
He's now 2 for 17 with his new ball club. We'll get back to your history later.
It's a quick history, Biz. Really, it's not worth it. about the outfield grass. Barney Lopez, the best groundskeeper in baseball. Okay, see how the lanes are cut out there, center field, left field, straight away? That's so the ball won't snake, okay? And most groundskeepers, they cut the grass like this, and it cross cuts, and the ball snakes when it comes to the fielder on the ground. But Barney Lopez developed that through the help of Tim Salmon, outfielder. He said, hey, Barney, Fish did. Barney, why don't you cut the lane straight so it doesn't fish on me all the time? And the ball snakes a little bit. So the Barney says, no problem, Kingfish. So Barney calls that the fish net.
High bar with a flare to the first baseman, Miguel Cabrera, for the first out. That's the fish net, huh?
Right, that's how the grass is cut. Because the first time I ever saw a ball on the ground hit hard to me out in the outfield, the ball would snake. It would come to me, and it looked like a snake, and it was tough to focus on, trying to come in hard and charge it and throw out a runner. That's because the grass is all cross-cut. But here, he's got lanes cut in it. Great job, Barney. Way to help out the players, especially the patented fish net. That's beautiful.
Perfect to catch a king salmon. Sean Figgins, the batter, and Verlander's been going after Sean with high heat. He did get a couple of early strike calls with a high fastball against Sean first time up, and then tried to finish him off on an 0-2 hook, and Figgins lined it into left field for a base hit. Bunt try here on a fastball. It's 1-1.
So Verlander might just stay with some heaters on Figgy. Although Verlander, he doesn't care if a guy got a certain hit off him on a certain pitch. This guy, he's aggressive, and he pitches to his game, not to the hitter's strengths or weaknesses.
In there, it's 1-2. What a rookie season he had in 2006. That was Jimmy Leland's first year as well. And Verlander and Leland took Detroit to the World Series, where they would lose to the St. Louis Cardinals, and everybody thought Detroit, after beating the Yankees, would win it. And that was 3 years after they had that awful 2003 when they lost 119 games. But Dave Dombrowski did a great job putting this team back together. Swing and a miss on an off-speed pitch, and Figgins is down on strikes.
Okay, that's a changeup at 89.
Changeup on 89. The sun is going down in the west in beautiful Southern California, home to the greatest baseball fans and the greatest baseball talent. When you consider Dodger Stadium, Angel Stadium, and Petco Park last year hosted more than 10 million baseball fans.
Beautiful thing. Plenty of fans to go around.
Little League, pony teams, high school, colleges, all excellent. They've got that team down near San Diego's in the Little League World Series in Williamsport right now. Team, I believe, from Chula Vista. There's Bobby Abreu taking an off-speed pitch away, and it is 1-1-1.
His last AB, Verlander struck him out. You see Weaver, he's trying to catch his breath a little bit. He struck Bobby out on a high fastball. Bobby normally doesn't swing at pitches that far out of the zone. Ooh, good hammer.
He's thrown 40 pitches, 33 for strikes. Tremendous star out of Old Dominion University. In the air, left side. Guillen backing up, says he has it. He does, and that will do it for the Angels in the third inning. 3 up, 3 down. Does that mean it's a Tim Salmon reference? Well,
sure.
Kingfish owns the Angels club record with 299 home runs. Who holds the Tigers club record with 399? We will give you the answer later in the ball game.
So after that season, and then Timmy retired, we had him on our fantasy team. He was on the coaching and the pro team, and he hit a homer. And beautiful Clyde Wright, you know how Clyde is. Yeah. Clyde goes, "Hey, can Timmy count that for 300?" Too bad. 299, Fish tried like heck to get that 300th. It's a much better round number to brag about.
That was one of the great final months of a career I've ever seen. You and I were part of it, and we enjoyed watching Tim Salmon grow up in this organization. And the last month, the love and joy that this Angel community gave him was remarkable. And they, the last week, wanted so badly to see Timmy hit number 300, and he made a great run at it to get to 299. Jared Weaver facing a very storied franchise in the Detroit Tigers. Back in the 30s, this team was fantastic. One of the best. Yankees, of course, in the 1920s and a lot of times in the 30s, but in 34 and 35, those teams for the Detroit Tigers won the World Championship. We're talking about Detroit's power, who holds the all-time record. Well, Hank Greenberg has the all-time record for a single season with 58. But he does not hold the Detroit career mark. Remember, Hank Greenberg left Detroit to go into the military the day after Pearl Harbor. He signed up. There's a line drive into right field, a base hit for Carlos Guillen.
Breaking ball, stayed with it. Weaver's curve's good. His slider's been a little bit better. Stayed right with it. Was going to break down. Weaver didn't like the location. Stayed up just a little. Now, Andy Van Slyke, the first base coach, he's getting the base runner Guillen's attention to see Gene Lamont. Okay, and that's the coach's job. Mainly the first base coach. He just wants to make sure he keeps the focus of that base runner and don't miss any signs.
Inge takes strike one. Brandon now 32 years old, out of Lynchburg, Virginia. Star at Virginia Commonwealth. Last year was a catcher, but this year when they acquired Gerald Laird, they could put him back to his more comfortable position at third base, and he has been a terrific third baseman this year. Swings and misses at a breaking ball, so Weaver has the count as Wade 0-2.
You know how hard it is to win a World Series? It's very, very difficult. 1901 was the first year in existence for the Detroit Tigers. They've won 4. Only 4. And the last one was 84. And it's very difficult. The Fighting Phillies, I think they've had a franchise in existence for about 140-something years, and they just won their second last year. So fans, got to be patient. Angels got 1 in 49 years. Look, that's not too shabby.
Tigers have gone to the World Series 10 times. Winning it, so tough. Look at the Atlanta Braves in the 90s and certainly this decade. Getting there, but unable to do it except for the one championship they had in the early 90s. Best Tiger years, best Detroit years were really in the 1930s. That 1935 Detroit, the city won the NFL championship with the Lions. The Red Wings won the Stanley Cup championship, and the Tigers won the World Series.
Trifecta.
Chopper towards third. Figgins bare hands and throws, and that's a great play because Inge really runs well.
Biggie quick. He's so quick coming in, going to his left and right. Good speed's going to do that, but still the ability to be able to catch that ball and run, not bobble or miss it. Precision. You do that by watching the ball all the way into your hand, throwing off of your right foot. Everything is thrown off your right foot, whether it's on top or on the side when you're on the run or you're off balance. Look at Weaver, like that. He goes, Biggie, you got skills, man.
The ground out moves Guillen into scoring position. 1-0. Detroit has the lead. They scored a run on 3 hits in the first inning. Gerald Lair got a base hit on an 0-2 pitch his last time up. And goes after a hook and pops it up. Should be a play for Kenby Morales at first, and there's 2 outs. Let's check the buy.com American League West standings. The Angels with a 5.5 game edge on the Rangers. Rangers are idle tonight. They'll be at Yankee Stadium tomorrow night. Then the Central has the Tigers by 3 over the White Sox. Yankees by 7. New York playing so well, just took 2 of 3 for Boston. And the wild card leaders right now, Red Sox by 1.5 games. Boston today beat the White Sox 12-8.
Pretty interesting races out there. It's going to be a nice last 40 games.
Philadelphia earlier today beat the New York Mets 6-2. There's Disneyland, the happiest place on earth. We're just a few miles from that.
I disagree with that.
Oh, it's your house?
No, it's the second happiest place on earth.
Angel Stadium's #1?
That's right. This is no question the happiest place on earth. Just ask the fans. Now, maybe for the rest of the world, they'd all adorn that beautiful place. Look at changeup's good. That's look for that pitch to come in more a little bit now with Weaver. It's 78 pitches. He's going to be mixing that in a little bit more now as the Tigers are just now finishing their second time through the order. Weaver's only given up 1 run. That was in the first inning. You want to show all your weapons in the first inning if you don't have to.
Ooh, he hit him in the elbow. So Santiago will reach, and Weaver saying, hey, he went to swing, come on. The last thing that Weaver wants to face is Curtis Granderson with men on.
Okay, and the last thing he wants to do besides that is not lose his composure. Keep that composure. We let Soch argue that. So he's saying, hey, look, that ball was right over the plate. It was up, and he's diving. Howard's replay, going to show you, that ball was just an elevated. So look at happening. He wasn't coming inside for that. So what Weaver's gripe was that he's all over the dish. He's looking to swing at that.
So Mike Butcher comes out to settle him down because he knows Curtis Granderson is a tough out. Granderson, of course, went to the All-Star game this year and tripled and then scored the game-winning run.
You see that mouthpiece he's got in his mouth. Okay, mouthpieces are a little bit more prevalent now in this game. Not for the physical contact, but for the grinding that these guys do, the clenching of their jaw. And they'll try to relax that jaw a lot like their hands when they're at the plate, but when they come to swing, their hands tighten up and so does their jaw. It gets tight. So instead of grinding your teeth away, dentists provide them with a mouthpiece.
Nice block by Mike Napoli.
Granderson, .231 hitter with runners in scoring position.
Single by Guillen, and grounded out. Laird popped up. Santiago hit in the elbow.
That cameraman's sitting in a pretty good spot.
Two and 0 to Curtis.
Now, I hope that our cameraman's not positioned there to catch a home run ball, but because that would be a 3-run shot that would hurt Weaver.
Well, maybe he's just getting ready for the bottom of the fourth, and Hunter, Guerrero, and Rivera come up.
I don't blame Weaver for being a little upset at that. That was a 2-0 changeup, perfectly located on the inside corner. Didn't get it.
Granderson on 3-0 gets the green light and misses his pitch, flying out to right field and gets out of trouble in the third. Love is in the air, Hud. Evan Schloff and Lauren at the ballpark, and they're wearing their Detroit gear, even though they are closet Angel fans, both of them.
Great to see him here, along with the others.
Evan is on our production crew, works a lot of the Angels telecast as an associate producer, and an absolutely brilliant guy, but he is from Motown. But we will not hold that against him. Ground ball, that will roll through. A base hit for Torrey Hunter, and a good start to the fourth inning for the Angels.
That bat died a hero.
Black Trivia time. It's about the Kingfish. He holds the Angels record for most home runs with 299. Who holds the Tigers club record with 399? And the answer is Al Kaline, 53 through 74. Won a batting championship at the age of 21.
He's still with the organization, up in the front office, and a lot like we saw Hall of Famer Bob Feller in Cleveland. And you get to see a lot of these guys around their club, around the team. Ooh, man. Tim Wilkie, he took a shot off his shoulder. Big Daddy's fouled and tipped it. And as hard as Verlander throws, that last one was 95. Lots of times when a hitter just gets a little piece of that ball, it actually increases in speed. It picks up a little speed. Rich Smith, he's the umpire lover. He takes care of these guys whenever something like this happens at the Big A. That's the home team athletic trainer's responsibility to take care of the men in black. Better off in his shoulder than his mask. They've had a lot of trouble, the umpires have had, trying to find technology that will help them sustain the blows from foul tips off their masks. They've had a lot of vertebrae problems in the back of their necks. Several umpires have had to miss time. Let's hear it. Let's listen to it. Yeah, man, so that got a little bit of his mask. I thought it hit him more cleanly on the shoulder, but fans here at the Big A give Wilkie a good round of applause. And over his 25 years, I'm sure that he's taken a ton of those, and that those things add up. So not only is Major League Baseball doing things to help the hitters, as on the road trip, we got to talk about that Rawlings product that the helmet has come out, and they've developed it to withstand a fastball up to 100 miles an hour. They're looking for the umpires' masks as well. Hunter getting back to first base. Now, Torrey, he'll rip off a bag occasionally. He's got 14 bags. Been caught just 3 times.
Angels have calmed him down in that department recently because of that strained right adductor that put him on the sideline for 32 games. Vlad Guerrero missed some time because of a right hamstring and left calf. He's back now. And he had a heck of a road trip, batting .368 with 3 home runs, including 2 monsters at Camden Yards at Baltimore.
Yeah, but you know, in the 18 games since he came off the DL, a .356 average, 7 homers. So Vladdy, he's getting his stroke back.
And when he homers, the Angels don't lose. He's 9-0 when going deep for the Angels this year. The team is 9-0.
Verlander is presenting a tough challenge for base runners so far. The few that have been on base, he's got quick feet.
Hunter does not go. The ball is in the dirt, blocked nicely by Gerald Loud. Count is 1-2.
Tell you what, Tampa Bay Rays came in there and played in Toronto, where the Angels just left, and they jumped all over Roy Halladay, their starter. They beat the Jays 12-7.
In there, strike 3 called. Great breaking ball on the inner half of the plate, thrown by Justin Verlander to Big Daddy. 5 strikeouts now for Verlander.
Yep, curveball. Vladdy took it. A little shocker, because that's a pitch there that he can hit out. He knows it. That's down in his wheelhouse. He loves them in.
One gone for Juan Rivera. Grounded back to the mound his first time up. Open the second inning. Now in the 4th inning. 1 out. Big fly gives the Angels the lead. They do send Torrey Hunter, and he will steal second base without a throw. He got an absolutely huge jump on Verlander's throw home.
Well, Torrey, he's a very good student in the game of base stealing. And he watches the guy. Now, watching this jump, see, he just takes a guess and leaves a 2 or 3 clicks earlier to make it easy on him. And that just comes from smart base running and scouting the pitcher well. So now he's in scoring position with 1 out for a very dangerous hitter in a situation like this. Juan's a .336 hitter with a runner at second and beyond.
Hunter took 6 steps before that ball came out of Verlander's hand. So was he doing that during the at-bat to Vlad Guerrero, just checking out his delivery home and how it was different from his move to first base?
Exactly. And that's that. You had a little idea before the game, but you get a better idea in game on what he's doing that particular night. And this comes from a lot of experience.
Ooh, man, Rivera had one he can handle.
Came in at 99. He can handle that for sure. A little bit elevated. Now, it's 2. The previous pitch was a better hitting pitch, and he missed that.
50 total pitches for Justin Verlander. Only 9 have missed that strike zone. He has been rock solid, but he has been rock solid since his last start at the Big A. All 13 of his wins are since April 27th.
Juan, he was the most productive Halo on the last 10-game road trip. He had 10 ribbies. Scioscia has hit him in the middle of that order all year long. Typically a strong finisher.
Broken bat flare to third base that Inge pulled down, and that's the second out. Look how many bats Verlander's broken this year. I mean, his fastball can get in on you or off the end of the bat.
Well, if you give our great guys in the truck a chance, there's probably a stat on that too. Exmo, you see it coming out? That's a 4-seamer boring down. And what hitters say is, he got in my kitchen. He got deep in there. As a matter of fact, put a chef's hat on, because that is a jam sandwich. Look at Napoli looking at him saying, how'd that feel? That's beautiful. Napoli knows how that feels. Everybody gets jammed. And that's the good thing about Scioscia's lineup and Mickey Hatcher's hitters. They're not afraid to get jammed. He takes a full swing. Lots of times he's strong enough, Juan, he'll hit that ball over the infielders' heads.
Foul that time. Verlander said, okay, you're good with the fastball. We'll go off speed here. And looked like Kendry was a little out in front last time up. Kendry took a fastball and lined it through the hole left side between the shortstop and third baseman. We told you their first meeting this year at the Big A, Kendry hit a 3-run home run and a 2-run single, a 5 RBI game. He had a 6 RBI game, the best of his career, earlier this season against Minnesota. That was about a month ago.
Just the 3rd changeup thrown all night by Verlander. Picking a good time for it. Gonna have to really change speeds.
And then he throws a 12-6 hook that just is outside, 2-1. He's really been cautious with Kendry Morales.
So he should. I like how Morales sets up and his rhythm and his timing before the pitch comes. Watch him. He keeps his back down low and just waves it a little bit. Okay, watch him. He just kind of waves it some. You want to stay loose. And then when that pitcher comes set, you get your hand set.
Ooh, he went.
Oh, yeah, he fooled him big time there.
Kendry Morales, one of our Marines.com leaders of the game. 27 home runs this year. Leads the Angels, the club record for a first baseman. 34 by Joyner and Vaughn. He needs 1 more to set the switch hitters record. Chili Davis hit 28 in 1996. And then it goes high heat at 99. He goes 81 curve and 99 fastball.
All right, so that is quite a difference now, but some guys are swinging and missing at that. There's quite a contrast in the speeds. That's why he got Morales on that curveball. Looked so foolish, but after that high fastball, he might come back with another hammer, or he could try to blow it by him again.
He hit 100 on Morales' first at bat. That is struck foul into the Detroit dugout. It's a pretty good battle here between Kendry Morales and Justin Verlander, as Verlander now has thrown 57 pitches, not yet through the fourth. This is the first of a 3-game series between the Central leading Tigers and the Western leading Angels. Lackey and Washburn, two old friends, meet tomorrow night. Wednesday afternoon, Saunders to go against Edwin Jackson. Another soft one.
We're going to go back to the previous pitch. If you're going to hit a 100-mile-an-hour fastball, watch Morales' eyes. Watch him get bigger. Right now, watch him. See how that focus really gets keen, fine when that guy's delivering that ball. Open up them eyes. You want to make sure you're seeing that ball very well. Morales doing a good job.
Next pitch by Justin Verlander will be the 8th to Kendry Morales.
Yeah, he's got, hey, look, that's a good AB going here. He's fouling almost everything off. He swung and missed the changeup.
Hunter at second. No play on, but when Verlander stepped off, it got Torrey's attention, and he went back to the bag. The 2-2 in the dirt. He swung and missed, and then he's off of first base. Laird's throw is in time. The inning is over. 6 strikeouts now for Justin Verlander through 4 innings. Took that run in the first inning, and here we have Chuck Finley and Brian Downing. Their big day is coming your way on Thursday. The Angels and the Athletics. April 9th. Tickets are accepted for that game that was canceled because of the Nick Adenhart passing. For tickets, go online, angelsbaseball.com. We will honor Chuck Finley, who has more wins than any Angels pitcher in the history of this organization, and Brian Downing, the great slugger from the 80s.
And you fans want a chance to get close to Chuck Finley. I got a radio show tomorrow at Throwbacks, a nice little restaurant and drink establishment right on Catella in the 5. Chuck's going to be my guest from 4 to 5:30 at Throwbacks, folks. If you want to get a chance to talk to the Angels all-time win leader.
Finn to win. That's what you always said, and he usually did it. A 1-1 count now to Placido Polanco as Weaver starts his 5th inning. He has thrown a lot of pitches, 80 thus far, and 49 have made that strike zone. Detroit has fouled off an awful lot. Weaver has struck out a pair, and he's also walked one and hit a batter.
But he struck out Polanco in that last inning. Now there's a fastball Weaver's wondering about where that was. That's a good spot. But he struck out And like I said, he's the toughest, hardest to fan in the AL this year. Just one every 14.8 times up.
Blanco fouls it out of play, and Weaver back even at 2-2.
Oh, it's nice to see a great ball game like this, well pitched, well executed. Guys that have to be on a real keen sense of awareness when you're facing games or hitters like this. It's a slow scoring game.
Trying to tease him away. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Weaver has had a lot of deep counts. Mike Scioscia would like to see him get some early counts so he can work deeper in this game. Blanco maybe went after ball 4, pops it up left side, Juan Rivera, and that's the first out. Well, there's a baseball card, and this was the
who's that?
Public address. They're playing Macho Man, so they must have known who the card was. This young man is in the stands.
Well, I'm going to tell you, that must have been a rare moment. That was a rare moment when they got that shot. Fizz is probably pinch hitting, maybe trying to move a runner over, but still, great to have a big league card, man.
I was thinking
That's
of the
so
music
fun.
in the background, which is Macho Man.
Well, you know, the times I felt like that, but most of the time, I was just a little mouse that got to play once in a while and chirped like a madman on the bench.
And that was from the stadium public address system, but the timing could not have been better. First pitch strikes for Jared Weaver, 14 out of 20. Ordonez tonight has singled and popped up on his pop-up. A fine running catch by Meiselas Turris, one of 3 excellent defensive plays by the Angels infielders. One by Eric Ibar, one by Sean Figgins, and another by Magglio Ordonez. And by the way, the play by Sean, make it 4. Sean made a great barehanded play to throw out Brandon Inge for out number 2 in the 4th. So I'm sure Weaver would tip his cap to his infielders tonight.
Hey, Jim Leyland, fine manager, been around a long time. I was fortunate to play 5 years in the American League and 5 in the National. When during my National League days was in the late 80s and early 90s. That's when he was skipper in that Barry Bonds-led Pittsburgh Pirate organization. They were good. They had some good starting pitching. Bobby Bonilla, they had good power and everything, and it was fun playing against him. And then finally, all these years later, he gets back in this league. When he saw me, he says, "Do you have any idea how many times I threw at you?" I said, "Yeah, you threw at me all the time. Heck, you hit me." And just ask Jay Bell, your shortstop, and Chico Lean, how they took it after you hit me.
I figured that was coming from you, Hud. Well, he won Eastern titles for the Pirates in 90, 91, and 92. Every single year, I thought they were the best team in the league, and they would lose in dramatic ways. It was usually the Braves knocking them off. Remember that play at the plate with Sid Breen?
Oh, yeah. He had some pretty good teams then.
Finally was able to win it in 1997 with his Florida Marlins over the Cleveland Indians. Hit a ton. Center field and deep. Hunter back, and that baby is long gone. Miguel Cabrera with home run number 26 this year. Detroit takes a 3-0 lead.
He hits him high and he hits him far. Home run ball going to be the difference maker in this one. Weaver went with a breaking ball again, but that's a nice easy swing, and when you catch that ball underneath it, the back underside, you get some lift and it gets that backspin and it just continues to carry. Off the bat, I thought it might have a chance to stay in the park, but Weaver obviously knew it was out.
That's the 201st in his career earlier this year. On his birthday, the 26th birthday, he had the same number of home runs on his 26th birthday as Henry Aaron did. How about that? Talking about great players. Miguel Cabrera with Florida, now with Detroit. 201 home runs, and he's just 26 years old. Aubrey Huff, the batter. 1 out, nobody on. 3-0. Tigers lead it. Game 1 of this homestand. Swing and a pop up. Huff's going, man, what do I do to have to get a base hit? He's got another chance. He's walking back to the dugout. Napoli dropped the baseball for an error, and Huff back in there with 2 strikes on him.
4th error on the season for Mike Napoli. And that's just going to add to a few more pitches thrown, and the ball always comes back to the field. Okay, you want to make sure that you keep your feet moving. The catchers know that, and he knows that. Just one of those things that couldn't glove it.
Huff gets another chance and rides it deep to right. Abreu says he has it. He does have room, and that's the second out. So the error does not hurt. Weaver trying to keep the Angels close. Maybe if Verlander makes a mistake, the Angels can get right back in the game. They did that earlier this week against the Toronto Blue Jays when they trailed 5-1 as late as the 9th inning, and then Mike Napoli hit a 3-run home run to make it 5-4. Angels fell by just a run. Carlos Guillen, the batter, tried to check his swing and fouls it off, strike 1. He's been robbed of a hit in a great play by Ibar, and then singled to right field his last time up. Hop foul back and out of play, and the Tigers looking for just their 26th road win of the year. And in the American League Central, they have to fight off the White Sox and the Twins, and Detroit has, of the remaining games, 18 on the road and 21 at home, and 13 home games against the Central. That'll be mighty important, where they have a terrific home record at Comerica, 40 wins and only 20 losses. Ground ball struck the first. Morales has it, and that'll do it. But in the inning, a 2-run home run by Miguel Cabrera gives the Tigers a 3-0 lead. Of this series, home plate umpire Tim Wilkie, who took a foul ball in the face mask earlier in this game, is now gone and left the ball game, and he has gone inside, and the Tigers and Angels will have 3 umpires the rest of the way, and it is Mark Carlson now working behind home plate and calling the balls and strikes.
Between innings, there you go. Wilkie, he took a foul tip off of Vladdy's swing on a 95-mile-an-hour pitch by Verlander, and it hit Wilkie in the jaw. So I think they're just going to let him go out and sit the rest of the time. Carlson was at second base before the game started. He was during the second base. Jim Wolf, he's out there on the bases, along with Chad Fairchild.
Verlander begins his 5th inning of work. Meiser, as tourist, does have a base hit against him, but now takes a hook, and that is strikeout number 7. This guy's curveball has been deadly.
So Carlson gets in there first, a hitter. He has Socha and Esturris upset.
Man, it looked awfully good, huh?
Okay, let's check it out. All right, there it is. Hit off of his shoulder and his mask. Mask first. So that kind of backed him up a little bit. It's going to be all right, we hope. But the curveball strikes out Esturris, and Verlander now with a 3-run lead is tough.
Mike Napoli fouls off a high fastball at 94 miles an hour. That is strike 1. Verlander has been outstanding. Now with the 7 strikeouts today, 211. He needs 3 more to tie Tim Lincecum of San Francisco for most in the majors. Man, he has been rock solid. He watched Greinke after a loss to the Angels in April, decided to junk his 2-seamer and get after him with his 95 plus, and he has been tremendous since going back and saying, I'm throwing my best pitch, and that's the 4-seamer.
You know, he, along with that hammer there, he's coming up with a slider. He's been throwing his slider for the last 2 or 3 starts, and it's an occasional pitch that he'll use that gives the hitter a little different look, goes a little bit flatter in the zone, and he'll throw that about 90-91.
Did he throw that to Morales in that one at bat, that long duel?
You know, I didn't necessarily see it then, but I saw a couple pitches that were around 90-91. Wasn't sure exactly what they were, but you can tell a big difference. He's got a real yellow hammer curveball. I mean, a big yacker, 12-to-6 rotation. If you see anything that kind of tails away or cuts it to his glove side, that's a slider.
Changeup misses low, 3-2. His last start, he pitched a masterpiece, but lost to Seattle 3-1. His team only gave him 1 run, gave up 3 in 8 innings. Did strike out 10. This is only his 2nd 3-ball count of the night. Napoli then swings and fouls back the fastball at 98 miles an hour. 2 starts ago against Boston. In the 9th inning, Verlander was clocked at 99 miles an hour. Just continuing to bring the heat. Fastball misses low, and that's his first walk of the ball game. The Angels have a man on with 1 out. And fans, the first ever AM 8:30 celebrity golf tournament takes place September 23rd and 24th at Chupanga Resort in Temecula. Spectators are welcome, so come out and see your favorite celebrities from TV, sports, music, and more. For more details on the tournament and how you can participate, visit am830.net/golf. Proceeds benefit the Angels Baseball Foundation, and I know, Rex, you've been very involved in getting athletes for that.
I am a co-host of the tournament along with Roger Lodge. So it's going to be fun. Fans are welcome to come out for free and watch these guys. We got Bill Engvall. How about Bill? Bill's going to be out there entertaining the people and having some fun. But all the foursomes, I mean, all of the foursomes are sold out. So fans, if you want to come and take a look at some of the stars, come on out.
Who are some of the other stars?
Got a whole bunch of them, but right now I'm too wrapped up here in that pitch count. 70 pitches, 55 strikes, only 15 balls that Verlander has thrown. He is pitching one of his best games of the season, no doubt about it.
I thought you want to talk more about the golf tournament that you're co-hosting.
No.
I'm too wrapped up in the pitch count.
Yeah, that was impressive. And what Verlander's doing, you know, is fun to watch, because here's a premium pitcher in today's game that mixes the power game with the finesse game all in one. Extremely impressive about what Verlander has done and what he's doing tonight. You wonder, a guy that throws with all those pitches and the command that he's got, how could he have 7 losses?
You got that right.
He elevates at times.
Just he has a gift. I mean, a tremendously powerful arm. He's thrown a baseball, did you know, end line to end line on a football field. That's getting it done. How did he lose 17 last year? Got away from his 4-seam fastball and had a 4.84 ERA. This year he's taken a run and a half off of that and become once again one of the dominant pitchers in baseball. Napoli dives back in.
He was trying to conserve his energy a year ago. Okay, he stopped that though. He says, like I said, I'm going pedal to the metal early now. I'm not going to try to conserve anything. He will leave some balls in the middle.
He's gone with a lot of off-speed pitches to Eric Ibar, who popped up at first base his first time up. Eric has a 2-2 count. Verlander's now thrown 73 pitches. We've seen him work deep into games, go 120 in the past. The most that he's thrown this year is 127. That was against the White Sox, and he beat the Sox 5-1. 3-2. Will he walk back-to-back guys in Napoli and Ibar? Figgins waiting.
Okay, with Verlander, Jackson, Porcello, they've got three pretty good right-handers there, but then they went out and picked up Washburn, who's thrown in tomorrow night's game. That gives them four very nice starters. Got to throw a fastball here.
It's ball four. All of a sudden, he's lost his release point. Had such great command. And then back-to-back walks to Napoli and Ibar. So the Angels will bring the tying run to the plate, and Sean Figgins only 3 home runs this year. And Figgy with a good on-base percentage and a very good batting average with men in scoring position. Rick Nat comes out to visit with Justin Verlander and his catcher, Gerald Laird.
Verlander, he had a tough year last year. We well documented that. Well, pitching coach Chuck Hernandez was with the Tigers and Jim leading for like the previous 3 years. And Chuck Hernandez, he took most of the blame for Verlander's season last year. Didn't necessarily have to, but he did. He's a stand-up guy, and he landed with the Cleveland Indians as their bullpen coach. Rick Knapp's in his first year with Jim leading in the Tigers.
Strike one. Figgins has lined a single to left and struck out.
Not only the on-base percentage, the numbers that Figgy has, leading the AL and runs scored, but he's been a run producer as well. 363 average with runners in scoring position is a very good mark, solid high mark.
Brandon Inge on the edge of the infield grass. Now he'll back up with 2 strikes.
You know, this will be tough from here on out. Verlander's going to mix in some breaking balls. Remember, Sean, to lead off the game, was down 0-2, and Verlander threw him a curve and he hit it to left field. You know, he probably get a steady diet of some high fastballs. Verlander knows that Sean Figgins has reached base more than any other player.
They go with the high fastball, backs him off the plate. 1-2.
Been on base more than any other player in the AL 220 times this year.
Man, that'll get your attention at 100 miles an hour. High heat near the head. Comes back inside, missing 2-2. So back-to-back at 100 miles an hour, just pounding Sean Figgins on his hand.
Tell you, when you face a guy that throws that hard, you have less than a split of a second to see that ball coming in there. So what you do is just throw your hands. You don't try to muscle him up. You just throw your hands and let him provide the pop on his pitch, the velocity.
Up the middle, this could be 2, a 6, a 4, and a 3 double play. Just what Verlander needed, and Figgins with a ground out to end the 5th.
inning. Time for Coors Light Freeze Camp. Back in the second inning, Napoli swung, and the tag was thrown by Laird to get Morales. We're going to freeze it on that slide. That's your Coors Light Freeze Camp, brought to you by Frost Brewed Coors Light. Cold and frosty.
And these beautiful pictures from the Goodyear blimp tonight. Detroit has a 3-0 lead on the Angels, scoring a run in the first on a RBI double by Miguel Cabrera, and then Cabrera went deep with a 2-run home run in the fifth. He has driven in all 3 Detroit runs and now has 78 this year. Brandon Inge, the batter. Inge lines it to left. That's a base hit. Rivera picks it off, and Brandon will stay put at first base. This likely will be the final inning for Jared Weaver. Has thrown 100 pitches, and aerial coverage provided by Goodyear. New Goodyear Fuel Max tires help you get there on less gas.
There you go, Goodyear. Way to show up at the Big A. Love your shots.
A lot of seats taken here at the Big A for game 1 of this series. Well over 40,000 on hand tonight. Angels, only the New York Yankees have done more home attendance this year than the Angels. And I understand we'll have good crowds for all 3 games of this series, but there still are very good seats available for tomorrow night and Wednesday. So just go online, angelsbaseball.com, or come to the ticket office tomorrow and get your seats. Inge at first base. He is 2 for 6 stealing bases this year. Gerald Laird, he's a good bunter. I wouldn't be surprised if they put a sacrifice down with him.
Nope, that might be a good call. Top of the order getting ready to come up after Ramon Santiago.
He's swinging away, and it's a high fastball. Maybe Weaver was thinking along with us and thought that was tougher to bunt the high fastball. Darren Oliver, who had an exceptional road trip, warming up in that Angel pen. Angels bullpen went 41 1/3 innings on the trip. And the starters, that's got to be something they've got to improve, because they've had only 10 quality starts, counted them up myself, in the last month. There's a fastball struck foul back and out of play, but the Angels will get help on Wednesday. Jared Weaver's friend Joe Saunders had a power bullpen session today, and Saunders had an exceptional workout in Toronto. So Mike Scioscia, watching that session today, said he's going to go on Wednesday in the afternoon game.
Yeah, and I watched that session in Toronto first day in there. Got there park early and watched him, sat down there, learned something about pitching, but noticed a big difference in his arm speed.
Just felt he was really been able to extend now. But he said when he had that pain in his left shoulder before the cortisone shot, that really relieved the inflammation. He was trying to manipulate his mechanics, and he said when he was doing that, all of a sudden he had bad mechanics. He was pushing the ball to home plate. It had no life on it like it normally would with his 2-seamer and his changeup. Be a great addition on Wednesday. I asked Mike Scioscia who would go in the 5 spot. Sean O'Sullivan has been sent back to AAA. He said Trevor Bell will go Friday versus Oakland.
There you go. Scioscia, you know what? He very, very rarely will say, well, we're not real sure. If he knows, he'll tell you. And he says it with conviction. Gerald Laird, he's putting together a good AB right here.
He was now throwing 106 pitches, trying to get his first out of the 6th. He's got a good changeup that does induce a lot of double plays. He'll throw it to righties or lefties. Napoli wants it down. Struck towards left. Rivera there. 1 out.
Perfectly located spot. Getting out on pitches like that when you hit the spots. Weaver has not pitched a bad game. Outside of the hitters taxing his pitch count and the breaking ball that he threw the beast Miguel Cabrera, he's been okay.
Santiago has lined out and been hit by a pitch. So he starts him with the off-speed pitch, and it's swung on and missed for strike one. How about the play by the Phillies? Eric Bruntlett the other day. He became the second player in Major League history to end a game with an unassisted triple play. That was a wow moment.
And he booted the previous two hit to him.
Go figure. Hit sharply into right field on the hit and run, and that will put runners on first and third as Jimmy Leland puts something on and Santiago comes through.
Yeah, the only way he hits this is if the hit and run's on. This is a changeup that floated way up out of the zones, but you're geared to swing on hit and run. You're swinging at anything. Managers do this sometimes because he has to reach way out there. Napoli, he was coming out. That was almost like a pitch out on a changeup, but nice job of guiding the bat to the zone with his hands by Santiago.
With the left-hander Granderson coming up, we'll see Darren Oliver when we come back. Hits here in the sixth inning, and Miguel Cabrera really hurt him in this game with a double and a home run, knocked in all 3 runs, and we were hoping that Oliver can keep him out of trouble here in the 6th inning. Darren Oliver comes out of the Angels bullpen. His job, get the lefty out, and he will face Curtis Granderson with 1 out and runners on first and third in a close ball game.
Ollie, go ahead, Ollie. Keep that big curveball down and spot the fastball on the corners. That's what he does. Very reliable and good command. They need him to execute some pitches here with 1 out. If the Angels have any chance of coming back, you got to hold him here.
Brandon Inge at third base. Ramon Santiago at first base. The batter, Curtis Granderson. He's flied out, walked, and also fly to right field. And the Angels have a pickoff play on with Santiago. He is 0 for 2 trying to steal bases this year. Granderson, now 28 years old, out of Chicago, Illinois. Fouled off.
Ollie brings it right at you. He's a veteran and having another good season. Last year he was awesome.
His 2.77 ERA leads the Angels.
I'll tell you what, he's one of the premium left-handed relievers out there for sure. 38 years young. It's because he's consistent, he's smart, he's a veteran, he's got a lot to offer his guys in the bullpen, the pitchers on the team. And you know, with he changes speeds with that breaking ball, he gives the hitter a tough look.
And he stays with the breaking ball, and it's ripped to right center field. This will score Inge to make it 4-0. Racing around to third is Santiago, and it's a 1st and 3rd again with a run home. Well, that defeats the Angels' purpose, as Oliver was brought on to get that left-hander out, and the left-hander knocks him for a base hit and a run, and Mike Scioscia will make a pitching change and bring in Jose Arredondo. So he's going to mix and match with his righties and lefties. We've got a right-hander Polanco, followed by a right-hander Ordonez, and another one in Cabrera. That run charge to Mr. Weaver. Southern California Ford dealers. See what's new at scforddealers.com. And by Jack in the Box. Right now, play Jack's Big Rip-Off. Order any large combo and rip the game piece off the cup for a chance to win free food, cool gaming prizes, or one of 5 ultimate game rooms. Go to jacksbigrip-off.com for details. Just a few miles from Disneyland, we come to you from the Big A, where the Angels back for a really fine homestand. 3 with Detroit, then 4 with the Oakland Athletics. Jose Arredondo coming out of the bullpen to face the right-handers. It's Polanco first, then Ordonez, and with runners at 1st and 3rd, it's a dire situation for the Angels against Verlander. Trying to keep it close, and maybe Verlander will get a little wobbly in the middle innings. We're in the 6th. Check swing foul. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Arredondo, good split finger sinker, occasional slider. Three nights ago he pitched in Toronto. Went 3 innings, punched out 5. 5 strikeouts, that's the most by an Angel reliever this year, and it's happened 3 other times. So he's got strikeout ability. That's exactly what Scioscia has him in here for now.
Santiago, you saw at 3rd. Granderson at 1st. A ground ball hit foul, and Granderson is always a threat to go. He is their best base stealer with 20 steals this year. He's at first base. Detroit doesn't run that much. They're 3rd from the bottom in stolen bases this year with 60. The Angels have more than twice as many with 124, but the Angels haven't had that many opportunities with Verlander.
They've grounded into a lot of double plays this year. Polanco's grounded into 14.
He punches one to right center field. Hunter racing over. Can't make the play. Scoring from 3rd is Santiago. 5-0 Detroit.
Hunter went a long way for that baby. And whenever he leaves his feet, he makes the catch most of the time. He couldn't come up with it then. Good effort. Polanco dumps one in there. And the Tigers continue to tame the Angels. And there's a tumbler. See, you can tell when it slowed down on that Exmo camera, it hung. He didn't want that up in the zone. Hunter knows how to dive out there in center field. You hope he's okay. Might be a little winded, but he dives on his chest. That keeps you away from any kind of shoulder injuries.
Ordonez, the batter, ball in the dirt. It gets away, and scooting to second base is Polanco. That takes the double play away. And they sure aren't going to walk Ordonez to get to the man on deck.
No, that's for sure. So
Mr. Cabrera has been their offensive machine this year.
Got to credit Polanco for looking for a pitch he could move up on. Of course, they know that Arredondo throws a split finger, and some of those pitches end up in the dirt.
Well, you can close the book on Jared Weaver. Gives up 5 tonight in 5 1/3 innings. Fastball barely misses outside. 2 balls and no strikes. Detroit has a chance to gain a game on the Chicago White Sox. The White Sox lost at Fenway Park tonight 12-8. So if the Tigers beat the Angels, but the White Sox lost, Detroit would have a 3.5 game lead in the American League Central. Tampa Bay beat Toronto and Roy Halladay 12-7. Cleveland over Kansas City 10-6. Minnesota topped Baltimore 2-1. And Seattle leading Oakland 3-1 in the top of the 7th inning. That Seattle game, Ian Snell got the start, former Pittsburgh Pirate. Infield in. Mike does not want to see them allow another. Arredondo falling behind after giving up a hit to Polanco. Now the 3-1 pitch, and it's foul. 3-2.
It's like Arredondo up in the zone a little bit. Even with his split finger, a little bit up in the zone. That last little fastball was up. He's good when he's down. Stays on top, follows through. A little downhill playing. Keeps the ball downward.
Lifted foul. Stays 3 balls and 2 strikes. Maglio's single popped up, walked, scored in front of the home run by Miguel Cabrera back in the 5th inning. Goodyear Blimp has given us some absolutely brilliant shots tonight.
Shows you where the outfielders are playing him.
Walked him. And here is Mr. Cabrera, who's already knocked in 3 and has a chance for an absolutely huge night in the 5th inning. Left center field, number 26. Check out the new R Performance vehicles at your local Jaguar dealer or on JaguarUSA.com. A walk to Ordonez has loaded the bases. Granderson third. Polanco second. Ordonez out, and Cleet Thomas now pinch running for Maglio.
Yeah, Cleet will go in there and play a little bit of outfield. I think they like his range.
Count 0-1 to Miguel. And he cracks that one to left field, down the line in the corner. This will score at least 2 and possibly 3. No, they will hold Cleet Thomas at third base. And it is a 5 RBI game for Miguel Cabrera. They had to pitch to him when he could not get Ordonez. And as soon as that took place, well, Mike Scioscia said, okay, it's you against Mr. Cabrera, and that rarely works.
No, anything belt high, whether it's a fastball, curveball, changeup, or anything, this guy has a very good eye. He doesn't overstride. So all he does is his eyes tell his hands exactly where to go on any mistake, like most big league hitters, but he has the great ability to go to the opposite field as well as pull him.
7-0. Detroit has the lead on the Angels. Arredondo trying to get his first out, and we were telling you how strong the Angels bullpen was on that road trip, and they were taxed, throwing 41 in the 3rd innings. A ground ball struck to Morales, but foul. But they have not been able to get a man out. Oliver came on with runners at first and third, gave up a single, and then Arredondo came on and he gave up a single, a walk, and a double. Aubrey Huff, he's the only Tiger not to reach base He has started his Tiger career 2 for 18.
You see Scioscia's infield in from that Goodyear blimp side.
They're coming home. They've got the man in the rundown, and now Clee Thomas will be tagged out. They're out number 2, first and third situation. So Aubrey Hupp an 0 for 4. A 4-run inning for the Detroit Tigers in the 6th inning. They scored 1 in the first, and Weaver really was sharp through the next 3. Then he gave up 2 in the Cabrera home run in the 5th and knocked out in the 6th as Detroit has scored 4 times off the Angels. They now have 7 runs on 11 hits. The Angels have none off Verlander on 4 hits. Lackey and Washburn go tomorrow. Hit well, center field and deep, and that ball is gone. Arredondo is getting smashed here in the 6th inning.
Ooh, man, this game was good for a while, but now it's turned into a rout. About the only thing the Angels can do now is try to score a run and keep them getting shut out the 4th time if they were shut out. This is a clinic on hitting and how not to leave the ball up in the zone. Be in. He waited on that and went opposite field with some authority.
And the Angels were hoping Arredondo could be one of those guys to help bridge the gap now to Kevin Jepson and Jason Bolger, but he'll have 1 good outing and then 1 very bad outing. He's just not been able to command his pitches. He's faced 5 batters in this inning and gotten 1 man out. So with 2 out, the Angels watching the Tigers bat around. Brandon Inge started with a base hit to left field and finishes it by striking out. But in the inning, a 7-run 6th inning for Detroit, and they have opened it up big time on the Angels. Have fun at the ballpark.
Rock the baby.
That young man is going to be a cowboy when he grows up. He knows how to ride. He might be a rodeo cowboy the way he was falling off the horse, though. Oh, what a beautiful baby. Meantime, the Angels bat in their half of the 6th inning. Bobby Abreu, Torrey Hunter, and Vlad Guerrero. Usually 10 runs is enough for Justin Verlander. He has been sensational in this ball game with 7 strikeouts and trying for the shutout. New left fielder is Ryan Rayburn. Clete Thomas stays in the game. He'll play right field. So they move out Guillen and Ordonez, who don't run as well. Pitch to Bobby is in there for a strike. Verlander has had some shutouts this year. He threw a 2-hit shutout against the Cleveland Indians at Progressive Field back on May 8th. He shut out the Angels for 8 innings and then left in the 9th, and the Angels won that ball game 2-1. Irvin Santana matched him pitch for pitch. Abreu sends it foul. That should get out of play and will. Let's see, he's thrown 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 games where he's given up no runs. Now, he didn't go all 9 innings in those. What a pitcher. He is back. Broke onto the scene in that 2006 campaign when they went to the World Series to play the St. Louis Cardinals, and that was a 17-win season. Everybody said, wow, Mr. Verlander is going to be pretty special, and he was that year. But the closer he got to 200 innings, the more questions the writers asked Jimmy Leland if this 23-year-old kid could make it, what he would be like in postseason, as Bobby Abreu leads off the bottom half of the 6th inning with a base hit. Hey kids, looking for a unique back-to-school accessory? Then come out to the Big A this Saturday, August 29th. All kids ages 2 through 18 in attendance will receive a free one-of-a-kind Angels camouflage backpack courtesy of Healthy for Life. Tickets for this game can be purchased at angelsbaseball.com. Beautiful look at the item that you'll be able to receive this week on this homestand.
It's a good-looking backpack, just in the nick of time for school to start.
Now Torrey Hunter with a man on and nobody out. Verlander now in his 4th big league season. He told you about that 2006 campaign. Became the first Tigers pitcher to post at least 17 wins in consecutive years since Jack Morris in '86 and '87. And Hunter takes it to the wall, and Abreu rounds third. They're going to send him home. Their throw to the plate is not in time, and the Angels will not be shut out tonight.
Good job by Torrey Hunter squaring up the ball. You know, Verlander, there's not quite a sense of urgency once your team goes out and just puts the opponents away, so he's okay with that. He's just leaving a few up in the zone now. And Abreu gets on with a single. Hunter got one and gaps it nicely. Important thing is Torrey Hunter gets his swing back, his timing back, and can be the force he was early in the season.
It's a 10-1 ball game. Vlad Guerrero, the batter, he's 0 for 2 with a ground out and strikeout. Struck him out looking on a hook on the inner half. Fastball misses high, and his pitch count now at 90. Shortstop Santiago throws out Vladdy for the first out of the 6th inning. We're back to Verlander to finish that story, but the closer he got to 200 innings that 2006 season, it was a marvelous year. More and more writers were saying, hey, he's only 23, he's a rookie. Jimmy, I mean, how are you going to be able to do that? He's never been this far. And Jim Leland's comment was, with agents, pitch counts, and MRIs, these guys are treated like Fabergé eggs. Come on, just go out there and throw the heat. He's the best.
That's great.
But I will say this, Verlander's ERA was near 6 in the playoffs, and they were knocked out by the Cardinals. They did not defend well, though, in that World Championship. Verlander now to face Juan Rivera, who's grounded out, popped up. Santiago has got Hunter caught in a rundown. Well, Torrey stayed in the rundown long enough to get Juan Rivera to second base, but that's out number 2.
That's about all you can do there. Torrey got a little bit too far off, though, and Santiago, rather than try to throw the long out to Rivera at first base, he figured he would just throw behind Hunter, and this is the smart play. Easy out. These guys are so accurate and quick with their throws. Torrey Hunter's motioning to Rivera to get over there. I'll stay in the rundown long enough.
Morales 1 for 2, lined a single his first time up, struck out swinging after a long at bat with Justin Verlander in the 4th inning. Low with the off speed, 1-0. Phillies beat the Mets today 6-2. How about Cliff Lee since the trade? He's 5-0 for the Phils with an 0.68 earned run average. Are they the team to beat in the postseason?
There's a pretty good chance of that, yes. They're the defending champions, and as far as I'm concerned, you got to dethrone them.
And they can score. Ryan Howard had 2 more home runs today, number 33 and 34.
This team's got a little bit of a swagger going. Rodriguez is going to take a little gulp of water before he might get the call to come out. It's probably going to be in there next.
The count 1-1 to Kendry Morales. Down low, barely misses. 2-1. And more bad news for the Mets. Johan Santana will have his left elbow examined tomorrow. Scratch from his start. Boy, the Mets, what a year they've had. They are in 4th place, and a lot of people thought they'd win that East and dethrone the Phils. But they're 10 games under 500.
See if Morales can get one he likes here, 3-1.
He lines it pretty sharply to left field. Rayburn going back, and that ball is up against the wall. Rivera scores. Morales racing to second and will make it safely with a double. And RBI number 84 this year.
He just continues to rip that ball. Whether he pulls it or goes to the opposite field, he's got power deluxe, and it all comes from a nice level swing. Good strong hands, a lot of experience. Mike Socia knew it. Look, he didn't even know where it went. As he looked up and said, I hit that ball hard, where'd it go? But they knew when they handed him the job in spring training that he had the potential to do what he's doing. So if you ask them, are they surprised? No. But do they know how high the ceiling will go for this kid? No. He's been performing at a big time clip for his first full year of playing in the big leagues every day.
32 doubles, 27 home runs, 2 triples, more than 60 extra base hits this year in his first full season in the big leagues. That means it is 9:30. So a little fireworks over at Disneyland. Angels kind of having a little bit of their fireworks tonight here in the 6th inning. They've scored a couple of runs, but they have given up 10. Outside. The count is 1-2. He's thrown over 100 pitches now with an 8-run lead. You wonder how long Jim Leyland will let him go. It will have him come back for the 7th with an 8-run edge.
I don't know. Leyland probably knows the comeback ability of the Angels. I would say that he's going to let Verlander dictate that. Maybe tell him.
A base hit to left center field. This will score Morales to make it a 10-3 ball game. So Maicias Torres has his 2nd hit of the game.
Hey, and I mentioned one of the reasons they're getting to Verlander is that he's really lost his focus. In a close game, pitcher's not going to lose his edge. They go out and break it open 10-0 lead. He takes them out here, and you know, he's making a few mistakes out over that he didn't make earlier in the game. Misturis, nice piece of 2-out hit, 2-strike hit.
More fireworks.
It's great having a Goodyear blimp with us. We can see everything from bird's eye view.
And the Angels hoping for more fireworks from this guy, Mike Napoli. Well, some people call him Napoleon Dynamite. We'll see.
Napoleon? I've heard of him. Takes the curve.
Outside with the fastball, 2-0 count.
Angel fans trying to help him out here. A 2-run homer gets him 5 runs closer.
He lines it to left. That'll drop for a base hit. So Verlander, after giving up just 4 hits in the first 5 innings, has given up 5 hits in the 6th. And Brandon Lyons starting to warm up in the Detroit pen.
Well, the Angels, if they hit early in the game like this, it would have made things more interesting for Verlander. But in this inning, at least they're getting to him. And again, it's the 3rd time through. Usually, if a pitcher, I don't care how good he is against the Angels, gets them the first 2 times, they usually get something that 3rd time through. Now, I don't know if they'll get enough to get back into this, but this is the best offensive team in the American League from an average standpoint.
They came in first in batting, first in runs, first batting average, men in scoring position, first in hits. Ibar is the 8th man that Justin has faced in this 6th inning. It started with a single by Bobby Abreu. Then Torrey Hunter doubled in Bobby. Vlad grounded out. Rivera also was able to reach when Hunter was caught in a rundown between 2nd and 3rd, but Kendry Morales followed with a double as Turris singled and Napoli is singled. 3 runs for the Angels on 9 hits today. Ibar got it on his hands and fouled it straight back to that screen. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Just looking at Ibar's face, he wanted that one.
They need more fireworks. Ibar, he has 48 RBIs this year, saying, "Let's go, Angels." Again on his hands at 97 miles an hour, and that was on his 109th pitch. Angels came into the inning down 10-0. They scored 3 times and 5 hits. Verlander trying to give Jimmy Leland 6 innings tonight. Ibar with a base hit. His Turris will come around to score and make it a 10-4 ball game. So the hit parade continues for the Halos. Keep on showing those fireworks, boys.
And remember, with 2 outs, this team's dangerous. I mean, they're dangerous, period. But, you know, they start hitting like this, they feed off of one another. And whoever's out there in that bullpen, and Leland's got a righty and a lefty going right now, and he's going to come and get him. They better be on top of their game because don't let these Angels back in still with a few innings left.
The Angels have cut it to 6 as Eric Ibar lines a single to right field, and Verlander's evening is over. He brought a shutout into the 5th inning, but the Angels had scored 4 times on 6 hits and knocked out Detroit's best. We'll see Bobby C next. AT&T Rapid Rewind. AT&T, the nation's fastest 3G network. AT&T, your world delivered. Some of the scenes you've seen tonight, and the Detroit 10-4 lead over the Angels, but the Halos scoring 4 times in the bottom of the 6th inning. They have set 9 men to the plate. The 9th is coming up to face Bobby C., left-hander from Sarasota, Florida. And Jim Leland wants to turn around Sean Figgins, who does not hit as well from the right side of the plate as he does from the left. He is 1 for 3 today against Verlander, now facing a left-hander for the first time, and Sean swings at the first pitch, fouling it back, strike 1.
That's right. He took a rip. Now he's a fastball slider guy. Mainly, he's a late inning lefty. He comes in, but lately he's walked a few. Okay, his command's been a little bit off, but he's the guy they go to late innings with the lefties. And Figgy, like you said, not quite as dangerous from the right side, but you never know. Just keep chipping away here. They got a few more innings.
A flare towards right field, and that will almost made it to the stands. It'll be strike 2 to Sean Figgins. He may have walked a few, but he's been able to work out of jams. He has a 2-0 record and a 1.59 ERA in his last 5 games, and he's matched a career best with 4 victories this year. They have a pretty good bullpen, and Bobby C. and Fernando Rodney as their closer. They've got a great young arm, and Ryan Perry, who can throw at 100 miles an hour. He throws a fastball right by Sean. The inning is over, but in the inning, the Angels score 4 times. And we head to the 7th. Angels trailing by 6. America's largest mobile-to-mobile calling family. And by FlexYourPower.org. Save money, save energy. Tips at FlexYourPower.org. 10-4, Detroit has the lead over the Angels. Big John Lackey's jersey is hanging in that team story. And there's the finale over at Disneyland, being shot from the Goodyear blimp. Thank you very much, guys.
Cool.
Ooh, there it is. It is breathtaking.
The 4 spot they put on the board was good for the Angels to get back in the game a little bit here, but nothing like the 7 spot that the Detroit Tigers put on the top of that inning.
Here is Rafael Rodriguez. You see his numbers. This is his 14th game with the Angels. Now, he has made 4 stints with the ball club, going back and forth from the minors to the majors. Talented arm, 6'1", 175, 24 years old, out of Cotuí in the Dominican Republic. That's the same area as Ramon Ortiz, a former Angel, who is like a hero in that city. He will face, for the Tigers, their catcher Gerald Laird, who's been on base once with a single to right field, also stole his 3rd base of the year. National League scores tonight. We told you about Philadelphia beating the Mets 6-2, Milwaukee over Washington 7-1, and the Giants and Colorado Rockies. That's an important game not only in the National League West but also in the National League wild card. The Giants and Rockies are still tied at 1. In the top of the 13th inning, Giants are batting. Now 2-2 to Gerald Laird.
Hey, Rafael, he's got a little sinking fastball, slider, and a curve and a change. He's going to try to work all that around these guys, keep the ball down. We saw him in Toronto.
Slider struck back to Rodriguez, and he throws out Laird for the first out. That's earlier in this ball game. We were talking about the great golf tournament we're going to be hosting at Pechanga Golf Course, co-hosting with Roger Lodge, and you were so focused on the pitch count of Justin Verlander that you didn't have a chance to tell fans who some of the stars you'll be golfing with.
That's right, fans. On the 24th, it's an off day in the middle of an Angel homestand, that last big one of the season, and you're able to come out for free. Gregory Harrison, Thomas Howell, Joe Montana, Stephen Root, Bruce McGill.
Off of Rodriguez to Morales, and they get the second out.
Also comedians Bill Engvall, Carlos Mencia, Jackie Flynn, Bobby Grich, Mark Langston, Bill Russell, Tommy Davis, Willie Gault are a few, as the Angels might have some trouble here as that ball struck hard.
Right off the right pitching hand of Rafael Rodriguez, and it bounded straight towards the first baseman.
But you know, this is a great opportunity for the Angels to team up with Pechanga. Beautiful casino and resort. Their golf course is off the charts. It's only been open for about a little over a year, but it's a great opportunity for the Angels in AM 830 to team up with. Now you see, he was ready to take that off of his chest or his glove, but his pitching hand got right in the way there, and it looked like it might have hit off his palm a little bit more than his fingers. But he's going to leave.
And this is going to hurt the Angels because all of a sudden they're going to have to work their bullpen, and they've already used up Darren Oliver, Jose Arredondo, and Rafael Rodriguez. So Matt Palmer will start to warm up, and he will be given as much time as he needs. Anytime there's an injury to a pitcher, that guy can abandon the bullpen, go to the mound, and take as much time as he needs. So fans will have a chance to give you plenty of promo reads when we come back. It's a 10-4 Detroit lead over the Angels.
We could talk more about the golf tournament.
Back with more Rex after this. A replay for Rex.
All right, now we're going to get a shot from the blimp on this. Watch Rodriguez's pitch. It struck right on him. He gets over there, stays in it. Morales able to take it himself. And Rodriguez is going to leave the game. Hopefully everything's okay. It's just a contusion, not anything else. As Matt Palmer, he'll try to pick it up. Won't take him long to get loose. Most relievers, they can get loose after about 7 or 8 pitches. But this guy here, man, he's had some kind of season, man. Love to see the success of this kid. He's a long-time journeyman type of guy. Got the ball this year out of spring training because of the injuries. And, man, he hasn't let anybody down. Good natural movement to his pitches. Sinker, he has a natural cutter. He's got pitches that move east and west. He's got a good hammer over the top curveball, and he'll get some elevated outs on his strikeouts too by pitching that fastball up. Pretty good four-seamer.
Well, here is our first promo for you, Rex. Hey, kids, join the Angels for Salute to Kids Day at the Big A on Sunday, September 13th. Kids ages 5 through 18 can enter for a chance to win one of many Angels baseball fantasy prizes, such as a first pitch, honorary back kid, guest PA announcer, TV broadcaster, and much more. Enter online at angelsbaseball.com or at one of the Salute to Kids stands at any Angels home game. All entries must be received by tomorrow. For that young lady, she's got her pink Angels gear on. She wants to get on camera. That guy's got a sign. Maybe he's going to rewrite it. Well, bring out those rally monkeys and rally bears.
This is a great venue here, and voted earlier in the year by a great publication. I'm not exactly sure which one it was, Fizz, but it's the best sports venue out of all the sports right here at the Big A. Kids love coming here. Parents feel comfortable bringing them. ESPN was the magazine. The Ultimate Standings ranked all 122 Major League, NBA, and NFL, NHL franchises on how much they give back to the fans for their emotion, money, and time they invest in their favorite teams. And the Angels came in at #1 out of all of the sports. Pretty impressive. Angels understand the importance of value, performance, and effort. They did long before the recession hit.
Breaking ball misses inside.
This is a championship caliber organization, not just a team. And Artie Moreno in his 7th year has put them over the top. There's only one thing eluding him, and they're in pursuit of that right now, and that's their 2nd World Championship.
Artie Moreno, the #1 Angel. And his general manager, Tony Riggins, trying to improve the club. These Angels do have until August 31st where they can make a waiver deal. The guy must pass through waivers. Mike Scioscia, one of the best field managers in the game. And it's my opinion that he should win Manager of the Year. The job that he has done despite the losses the team has had, particularly to their starting rotation. Matt Palmer, one of 13 pitchers this year who've been used as starters. That's the most in all of baseball. Palmer opening a little wild, walking Granderson, and now falling behind 2-0 to Polanco.
Yep, they never knew how much they would miss 8th-inning specialist Scott Shields.
The man with the rubber arm. Pop up left side. Ibar racing out. Rivera coming on. Eric makes the catch. The inning is over. Good job by Matt Palmer from the Goodyear blimp. We'll say so long to the top of the 7th. bottom of the 7th inning. But when they took Justin Verlander out, some angry words between he and his catcher, Gerald Laird.
Well, this happens more than we see, but these guys are intense performers. Verlander probably had a little bit of a problem, and Laird didn't want to just sit there and take it, and he probably said something back. But this happens all the time. Verlander, I read his lips, he says, hey, we'll talk about it later. You don't want to show your in-house disputes in front of the public.
Here is Bobby Abreu, who started the Angels' joy in the 6th inning by lining a single to center field. The Angels would score 4 times on 6 hits in that 6th. Down by 6 runs now in the last of the 7th. Abreu, Hunter, and Guerrero.
Angels got 3 more shots. That slider is the pitch he uses mainly against left-handed batters. Just a fastball slider guy, good command. His .217 batting average in 92 at-bats against lefties. So they're not hitting very much off him, just 1 homer.
The count goes 2-1 on Bobby Abreu. Bobby C, we told you, talented pitcher out of Sarasota, Florida. He was a former #1 pick. High school All-American at Sarasota High School.
And you know, his average against righties is .204. So he's not, I mean, he's just as effective against the lefties as he is the righties. Batter's only hitting .212 off of this lefty reliever.
The Angels with 4 runs on 10 hits. Detroit with 10 runs on 12 hits.
He's got a good pitcher's build. He's thick, but he got long arms and long legs. And there's a walk now. He's walked 5 in his last 2 outings, so he's had some command issues.
And Jimmy's not waiting any longer. He wants the right-hander, with the Angels sending 3 straight right-handers to the plate in Hunter, Guerrero, and Rivera. So we will see Brandon Lyon, who's been warming the last 2 innings, after this. I didn't know they were taking it to the baseball stadium.
That kid's doing all he can to help his team get back in this game and
come rally cap going.
Come from behind.
Got his ball glove here, and here is a hot pitcher in Brandon Lyon. Wow, he has been lights out lately, compiling a 5-1 record and an 0.72 ERA over his last 29, and he has now worked 15 consecutive scoreless outings, tossing 17 scoreless innings during that stretch. So a hot pitcher for Detroit comes out of that bullpen to try and cool off the Angels, who have Abreu at first base, nobody out, and Torrey Hunter at the plate, who is 2 for 3 with a single and a double.
He's got an above average sinking fastball at 94 and a curve. That's what he uses. And for relievers, really 2 pitches is all you need. And if you're above average with both of those, you got a chance to pitch like he's been doing. Has the ability to locate down both sides of the plate. His sinkers is out pitch. Lies on ground balls. Okay, Torrey Hunter, he wanted that one. He took it, I could tell. He goes, oh man, I let that go too soon. Now Jim Leyland, he is a little bit nervous right now, even though he's got this kind of lead here. But the Angels, he knows they're second in comeback wins this season. And 2 of the last 14 wins here have all been comeback fashion. He knows that.
A dozen times in the last 14 games, the Angels have roared from behind. And there was that one series where they came from behind twice down by 4 runs against the Baltimore Orioles. Torrey Hunter with a favorable 2-1 count.
I meant 12 of the last 14 have been comeback wins here at the Big A.
2-2. Texas has the night off. They'll take on the Yankees at Yankee Stadium tomorrow night. That will be Kevin Millwood against Jabba Chamberlain. The Angels lead the Rangers by 5.5. If they lose this game, it'll be down to 5. Low. 3-2.
Torrey, he's looking to jump right now. He wants one bad. He hadn't hit a home run in his time back. He'd love to be able to get one that didn't sink. Now that's his sinker. That's his pitch, his out pitch. Big Daddy's waiting on deck.
Hunter came back from the disabled list on the recent road trip in Baltimore. Had 2 hits in his first game. The 3-2 pitch is lifted foul and out of play. And Torrey's first game back, he played 13 innings, and the Angels scored 9 times in the 13th to knock off Baltimore 17-8. He said his legs were absolutely done after that game. He must have played a doubleheader.
He's looking for one pitch here, and that's one middle in.
And Lyons looking for a ground ball double play. And his batting average at .310 now, 17 home runs, 68 RBIs.
That curveball is in the back of Torrey's mind. Next pitch will be the 8th one coming to Torrey.
In there, strike 3 call. Hunter didn't like the call, but it looked like a good strike that Mark Carlson called.
Oh no, he knew he missed that. That's his home run pitch. That was middle in. That's the one he was looking for, and just couldn't pull the trigger. For Bobby Abreu, that was his 71st walk. Okay, they got a little internal competition between him and Sean Figgins. Figgy has 76.
Vlad takes a rip, fouls it back, strike 1.
Abreu's out there. He wants to do some running. Now, he may not steal, but if Vladdy can hit a little gapper, he'll be off and running.
Sean Figgins has such great respect for Bobby Abreu. Really admires the way he presents himself at the plate, works the count. And if he could finish with more walks than Bobby, so that would be a feather in his cap.
Yeah, and you know, especially since Sean Figgins in the offseason studied videotape of Bobby Abreu, Kevin Youkilis, guys that have high on-base percentages. And now that Abreu joined the team right before spring training, Figgy says, all right, man, I got somebody that can help me. Lyon, he definitely is looking to keep that ball away from Big Daddy.
Righties only bat .210 against Lyon. Try to get him to chase the low one. We've seen him do that quite often in the past. The count has moved to 3-1.
Well, Glady, he knows that he's not the only dangerous hitter in the lineup now. He has guys all around him, before him and long after him. Juan Rivera hitting behind him. Morales looking for a pitch he can drive.
Glad taken all the way. How about that?
Yeah.
He was just going to take that pitch. Well, and he walks.
That's what we're saying. I mean, the hitters behind him are very productive, so he doesn't have to do it all himself.
Here's a productive batter in Juan Rivera, 72 RBIs. He reached once in the ball game and scored on the double by Kendry Morales. Trying to get somebody other than Verlander, and Verlander cruised through the Angels through 5 and then got a little shaky, giving up 4 runs in the 6th. The Angels 3 for 10 with runners in scoring position in this game, and they came in with the best batting average in the major leagues. And actually, they're 338 since the All-Star break. That's also #1. And since the All-Star break, Detroit was dead last at 207. But they have knocked around the Angels tonight to the tune of 10 runs on 12 hits. Rivera with 20 home runs. Career best was 23 in 2006. Waves at the breaking ball, nothing in 2.
I was wondering when Brandon Line was going to break that curveball out. That's a good one. He might try to give him another one now. He's comfortably ahead 0-2.
Keeper down. He does, and it's off the plate and down 1-2. Good matchup tomorrow. John Lackey's been rock solid for Mike Scioscia. Goes for the Angels. And Jim Leyland will send his left-hander, recently acquired from the Seattle Mariners, Jared Washburn, just before the trade deadline. Rivera tried to check his swing, but he went, and he is now out, #2.
Yeah, but with the breaking ball now, Juan doesn't strike out all that much. That's just his 42nd strikeout. And so it was a pretty good slow curve. A little bit out front. See how he gets on top of that ball and pulls it down. Just like you go over to the lampshade, you pull that lampshade down.
Here at the Big A, this is game 1 of the homestand. 3 with Detroit, the Central leading Tigers, and then 4 with the Oakland Athletics. Kendry Morales lines one softly to the second baseman Polanco. The inning is over. The Angels threat but do not score, and we will head to the 8th inning. Detroit leading by 6. provided by Goodyear. New Goodyear Fuel Max tires help you get there on less gas. Steve Kiziak, Rex Hudler with you. There's a look at the Goodyear blimp with the American flag waving at us. Beautiful sight here in Southern California. Top of the 8th inning we go, and Matt Palmer will continue his work. Palmer came on to get the final out of the 7th inning, and there is a fly ball struck to deep left field, and Juan Rivera jumps at the end and makes a fine running catch of Clete Thomas's drive.
Yeah, nice play. He got a good first step back on that ball, and that's the reason he caught it. Juan prefers to play a little bit deeper. That ball was struck well by Clete. See, he looked right away at the fence. He knew where he was. Running out of room. Right there by some Orange County's finest.
Yeah, outside the foul pop that was dropped by Mike Napoli, the Angels have played very well defensively. Fine plays by Ibar and Figgins. And now Juan Rivera with a good running catch. Nice play by Meiser's Tours in shallow right field, chasing a pop-up.
Oh, defense is not a concern for Mike Scioscia.
Pitching may be. It's a sinking fastball that misses inside, and the count goes to 3-0 on Miguel Cabrera, who's already had a great game with 5 RBIs, double that drove in a run in the first, 2-run long home run in the 5th, and a 2-run double in the 6th inning. Now he has a favorable 3-1 count. This is one of baseball's great sluggers. Detroit hasn't done much offensively this year outside of Miguel Cabrera. He is out at first base on Ibar's throw. 2 gone in the 8th inning. And if you're traveling and can't watch your Angels on Fox Sports West or KCOP, you can always catch the game on your computer with MLB.tv. This is the ultimate baseball experience, featuring 100 out-of-market games per week live on your computer, and catch those you missed on demand. For more details, visit angelsbaseball.com, where baseball is always on. Aubrey Huff, 0 for 4. Did reach on a fielder's choice and score a run in the 6th inning. Now he sends one to left field that Juan Rivera will chase down. A 1-2-3 8th inning for Matt Palmer. We'll be right back. Today would have been Nick Adenhart's 23rd birthday. The young man who passed away in a tragic car accident back in April. He had a field in Halfway, Maryland dedicated to him in a Sunday ceremony yesterday before 150 people, including his mom and dad. And there was a red, white, and blue sign that had Pete Rose's quote on it: "You owe it to yourself to be the best you possibly could be, whether in baseball or in life." The Angels honoring Nick Adenhart this entire season. And they are honoring him still in Halfway, Maryland today. Terrific young pitcher, the Angels' top pitching prospect, killed by a drunk driver, along with a couple of his friends, Courtney Stewart and Henry Pearson. John Wilhite did survive, and he is a young man who's really contributed greatly to our Southern California community.
John's going to throw the opening pitch on Saturday coming up.
And that's another program that's going on Saturday, and I believe that's why John might be here, because we are going to have a blood drive from 8 in the morning to 2 in the afternoon at Gate 6 here at the Big A. And it is a dedication to Nick Adenhart. There's a lot of need for blood in the area. And John Wilhite will be throwing out the first pitch in Saturday's game, as Rex indicated. Brandon Lyon got the Tigers out of a jam in the 7th inning, now opening the 8th inning and facing Mike Napoli after getting Meiser's Turris on a ground out. One down with 2 to go for Mr. Lyon here in the 8th. Good matchup tomorrow. John Lackey will be on the hill, and he is going for win number 100. So fans, come to the ballpark and cheer on for Mr. Lackey. He's allowed 3 earned runs or less in 9 of his last 11 starts. So he will keep the club in it. Here's Napoli to left field, rather deep. Rayburn has it measured and pulls it down near the Lucas Oil sign.
Yeah, he got a pretty good piece of a Brandon Lyon curveball. Gave it a ride.
Lyon has put together some kind of streak. He's worked 15 consecutive scoreless outings, tossing now 18 scoreless innings during the stretch. Former pitcher with the Arizona Diamondbacks, 29 years old, out of Salt Lake City. And there is a flare to right field that will drop a base hit for Eric Ibar, and that is the Angels' 12th hit tonight.
Second hit on the night for Eric.
That is their 11th hit of the night, one shy of the Detroit Tigers, but the Tigers have some big flies to go with theirs. They have a home run by Miguel Cabrera and a home run by Carlos Guillen. Ibar 2 for 3 with a walk in the game. Sean Figgins 1 for 4. His single came back in the first. He takes ball 1. We're talking about Bobby Abreu's influence on Sean Figgins, how he watched Bobby's at-bats on video in the offseason. Well, how about this? No one has seen more pitches than Sean Figgins this year, and that's usually a category that Abreu leads. Ibar going first to third on the single, and the Angels continue to do that quite well this year. That is the 99th time they've gone from first to third on the single. That's most in the major leagues.
It doesn't matter the score either. When you got these two guys out there, Ibar and Figgins, and Mike Scioscia's his offense is very well rounded. They can beat you with speed and power. Tonight, they've been having a dose of their own medicine. Some homers hit against them, but Figgins with a good short, quick swing finds the hole. For the second time tonight.
Ibar at third, Figgins at first, with Bobby Abreu coming up. He's been on twice with a single and a walk. He scored a run. The Angels 4-run sixth. Detroit, though, scored a run in the first, 2 in the 5th, and 7 in the 6th.
Abreu, he'd like to end that scoreless streak that Lyon's on.
Runner goes. Pitch is swung on, fouled off. 1 ball, 1 strike.
San Francisco and Colorado played a long one tonight. They went 14 innings. San Francisco ended up on top 4-1 in Colorado. That fan wants rally time.
Well, they rallied in Colorado with the Giants scoring 3 times in the top of the 14th inning, and then holding on. So the National League wild card race now has San Francisco 2 games back of the Rockies. And in the National League West, the Dodgers were idle. So the Colorado Rockies lose a half game in the standings. They're now 4 games back, and the Giants are 6 back of the Dodgers. And Fernando Rodney warms up in that Tigers bullpen just in case they need him for a save. Figgins goes. The pitch again lifted foul, out of play, left side. Mike Scioscia, no let up, trying to get back in this game. And just trailing by 6. Abreu big fly could make it a 3-run game. Scioscia against Leland, 2 masters. Abreu with a drive, and that's deep to right field. And the Angels right back in this game on a 3-run shot by Bobby Abreu.
Nice stroke. He pulled his hands in nicely on that fastball that was in way off the plate. Bobby hits his 12th. 3 runs now. That's certainly reachable and attainable by the Angels offense. Now Abreu, he knew he got a pretty good piece of it. He hit it in a good spot in the yard where the fence drops off a little bit there. That fan that was holding up that sign, rally time, he knew he had something going.
Well, his scoreless streak is over. Brandon Lyon had gone 15 consecutive games without allowing a run, but a 3-run shot by Bobby Abreu, and it all started with 2 out, a 2-out single by Ibar, follow-up single by Sean Figgins, and then a 3-run shot to right field by Bobby Abreu has made it a 10-7 game. Torrey Hunter up. Foul out of play, strike 1.
Okay, we're going to show you the X-Mo. Fastball, 4-seamer inside. Abreu pulls his hands in. You saw Gerald Laird reaching up and in for that one. And Brandon Lyon's probably saying, hey, look, I made my pitch. That's exactly where I wanted to put it. Better hit and got that one done.
The Angels at one time were down 10-0. But they scored 4 times in the bottom of the 6th and 3 times in the 8th. And they had 2 on with just 1 out in the 7th inning before Lyon struck out Rivera and got Morales to pop up.
He struck out Hunter in his last at-bat.
And Torrey ropes one to right field. This game's getting a little interesting. 4 straight hits off Brandon Lyon.
And I'm sure Jim Leland, he's known this comeback ability the whole time. The reason why he had Rodney up in that bullpen. He is not very comfortable, Jim Leland, here.
You've got Guerrero coming up now, and he is coming off a great road trip where he batted .368 with 3 home runs. And Lyon likes to sink that ball, but Vladdy is a good low ball hitter. And Guerrero is due. Anytime he's 0 for 3, you say Vladdy's about to come unglued. And Rick Knapp comes out for a visit with Brandon Lyon, who is suddenly maybe lost his release point because he's finding too much to play with 4 straight hits. Singles by Figgins, by Ibar, Figgins, Abreu with the home run, and then another single by Torrey Hunter. And you can see that Detroit bullpen is busy with Rodney continuing to throw.
You see, Leland knows he's not facing just another run-of-the-mill American League West team. He knows that this team 1 through 9 has a lot of dangerous hitters in it. And he's not conceding anything yet.
Guerrero with 11 home runs, 32 RBIs this year. He's missed 58 games because of injuries. Hunter does not go. The pitch is outside for a ball.
And this is what Mike Scioscia talks about when he has a well-balanced lineup. He's got power sprinkled throughout the lineup. This is no longer a punch and Judy Angels team.
Guerrero with a rope to left field over the head of Ryan Rayburn. Hunter will be held at third. It's a double for Vladdy. Wow.
Oh, man, I'll tell you what. He gets under that a quarter of an inch, and these Angels are almost tired. I tell you, that ball was great. Big Vladdy. He jumped on a liner.
Leland's coming out. Brandon Lyon was cruising. Then the Angels with 5 straight hits, knocking out Lyon. And Verlander's going, man, I thought I was going to win number 14. It's not going to be as easy as that, as the tying run will be coming to the plate when we come back. Head of Ryan Rayburn, planting Torrey Hunter at third base. Vladdy's at second base. The tying run has come to the plate, and Juan Rivera. And here's Vladdy's swing, an absolute rocket that got so quickly to the outfield wall that a speed guy like Torrey Hunter was unable to score from first base. Rayburn played it nicely.
A frozen rope is what that was, and this kid's loving it.
Say, come on, Angels. If you make noise, he will come, and that means the rally monkey is here.
Here, Fernando Rodney, he's been extremely effective for the Tigers. He's converted his last 3 consecutive outings. His saves, his pitches. He's got a pretty good fastball, and he can reach mid-90s and above. Slider and a changeup. Got an outstanding changeup. Everybody knows it. One of the best changeups in baseball.
First base is open, but Juan represents the tying run. 20 home runs this year, the most since 2006 when he blasted 23. And Juan has always been a very good second half hitter. He, like Guerrero, is due 0 for 4 in this game. He did reach on a fielder's choice and scored a run in this 4-run sixth. The Angels with 4 in the 6th and 3 so far in the 8th. Hunter third, Guerrero second.
That's a first pitch changeup. He knows how to get ahead. He's got great command with that change.
And that one is rolled to second base. Polanco will take care of the Angels and Juan Rivera, but they score 3 more times. making a game of it. After trailing 10-0, the Angels have made it a 10-7 affair. We'll go to the ninth. And then Vlad Guerrero roped a double off the wall. The Angels now with 15 hits in the ball game, but trail it by 3. And that's because they gave up a 7 spot to Detroit in a very impressive 6th inning.
Yep, this Angels team, they never quit. They don't give away at bats, and they pressure all the way through the end of the game.
Matt Palmer now facing Ryan Rayburn for the first time. Clete Thomas playing right field, and Ryan Rayburn came in with a 10-0 lead because, well, the skipper Jim Leland thought a 10-run lead looked fairly comfortable, wanted to get speed in the outfield. That ball hit to Palmer. He gloves it underhands in time. 1 out to start the top of the 9th inning. We expect another good crowd tomorrow, and it will be an excellent pitching matchup. Former Angel Jared Washburn, who was part of the Angels World Championship in 2002, will be here, throwing from the left side against his old mates and his old buddy John Lackey. Lackey was part of that 2002 World Championship team. Called up in June, won 9 games, and the Angels won their first world title. There's a pop-up by Inge, and Morales takes care of Brandon for out number 2. Gerald Laird, 1 for 4 with a single and a stolen base. He is really pretty much their everyday catcher, maybe once a week. Velas will get the call.
The Angels, if they can come back, they need to get 3 runs in the 9th inning. That'd be the largest deficit they've come back from all year. Now the longest.
That'd be in team history.
Yeah, you know, it was back on May 31st against Seattle. They were down by 7 and they ended up winning.
Yeah, that was an absolutely crazy game, how they were able to come back. But this team is a no-quit attitude. 38 comebacks this year. Only the Yankees have more. And 12 of the last 14 home victories have been come from behind victories. We thought Matt Palmer might be in line to make a Friday start, but Mike Scioscia said, nope, we're staying with the kid. 22-year-old rookie Trevor Bell will make a start again on Friday, even though he struggled mightily yesterday.
Angels will have Morales, Asturis, and Napoli coming up in the bottom of the 9th inning. And you know, there's not a whole lot of opportunities to pinch hit for Mike Scioscia's team, because who's he going to pinch hit for?
a good call, and so is that, as Gerald Leo takes a called strike 3. When we come back, you'll see Kendry Morales, Mike Napoli, and Mike Zersturis and Mike Napoli. Wants to catch a foul ball. Rally Monkeys are out. The Angels trail by 3. They trailed by as many as 10 runs tonight, trailing 10-0, but the Angels scored 4 in the 6th and 3 in the 8th. There's hope in the stands, and there's hope on the field, and the Angels will send up Kendry Morales, Mike Zersturis, and Mike Napoli here in the bottom of the 9th against Detroit's closer Fernando Rodney. He came on to get the final out of the 8th inning, getting Juan Rivera with runners at 2nd and 3rd, and 2 outs on a ground out to second base. Morales in tonight's ball game is 2 for 4, a single and a double. He scored a run and driven 1 home. And now he's tied with Bobby Abreu for most RBIs in the team, each with 84.
Rodney got a plus fastball and a plus changeup.
And he has pitched well recently. 1.50 earned run average his last 5 games. Fouled back by Morales. 1 ball, 1 strike. He leads the American League with 47 games finished, while his 7th with a career high 26 saves. He takes over for Todd Jones, who was the closer last year. Strike in there. 1 and 2.
Yeah. I told you he'll throw mid-90s to more to higher, and he did there. Our clock had him at 99. Stadium gun had him at 97.
Another fastball knocked foul where we saw him turn around Justin Verlander's 99-mile-an-hour fastball, line one to left field, and then double to left field off of Verlander. A long double that hit off the base of the wall and bounded back to the left fielder Carlos Guillen, but it drove in a run from second base. With great bat speed. A little high.
And a little hard.
100.
So the guy who started the game threw 100, and now the guy trying to finish it off throws 100. Pretty good pitching, I think. That's that changeup that's really a good one. I mean, it sinks and dives away from the left-handed batter, and it's a lot slower.
In that one?
That's right. Good at-bat by Morales.
Just get on base, keep the rally going. Angels trailing by 3 in the 9th. That trio believes Ron Roenicke on the left, Mickey Hatcher in the middle, and Torrey Hunter on the right. Oh man, they went back-to-back changeups came inside with the off-speed and strikes out Kendry. 1 out, bottom of the 9th.
The ball was a little bit in, but forget about taking the walk, as he can get 1 run closer. See how that was in the middle of the plate by the time Laird caught it, but it started on the inside. See how he holds that ball, and he lets it roll out of the back 3 fingers. And with the same arm speed as the 99 to 100 mile an hour pitch, it's going to trick a lot of hitters.
So he starts his tourist with the fastball up, ball 1. The Angels got it going with 2 out in the 8th inning. That's when the trouble started for Brandon Lyon. Lyon had no problems getting the first 2 out, but then Ibar, Figgins, Abreu, Hunter, and Vlad follow with base hits. Change up inside and high, 2-0.
Well, at 10-0, Jim Leyland, no way he was thinking he was going to have to bring his closer in for a 4-out save.
Tigers and Angels for 3, then the Athletics in town for 4. A strike called, 2-1.
You see how he can add and subtract with that hard fastball too. That's like having another pitch.
Three and 1. In 54 innings this year, he has walked 25, so he can get wild. The Angels just want to get guys on and give themselves a chance.
Yep. Couple base runners what they need. Napoli to follow.
Called strike as that changeup dove back on the inside corner of the plate. 3-2 count.
You got to look fastball all the way on a guy like this and adjust with 2 strikes on that changeup. Try to keep your front shoulder in if you can.
Two outs.
That thing's just nasty. We've seen the Angels get to Rodney at times in the last few years, but tonight looks like he wants this one.
Yeah, in 3 games versus the Angels this year, he's thrown 3 innings, allowed 9 hits and 5 earned runs, but so far so good. 3 up, 3 down. Mike Napoli has been on twice with a walk and a single, 1 for 3. First pitch in there, changeup, strike 1. So if the Angels fall, their record will be 74-49. They'll still have a 5-game lead on Texas. The Rangers open a series at Yankee Stadium tomorrow night. Angels go in game 2, Lackey against Washburn. 1 ball, 1 strike. The Tigers, though, will push the record to 66-58 and take a 3.5-game lead. And the White Sox, Chicago lost at Boston tonight, 12-8. A little more than a month to go in this great season. Napoli pops it up left side. This should do it. Rayburn under it. Yes, it does. Detroit wins game 1 by a final of 10-7. The winning pitcher, Justin Verlander, wins his 14th game of the year. Jared Weaver takes the loss, allowing 5 runs in 5 1/3 innings.